Hey, and welcome to Crippled System episode 244.
Not prime.
Not a prime number.
No.
Definitely not a prime number.
It's frustratingly close to a joke, but I have to wait for 288. Oh, I shouldn't mention 288.
Speaking
Because it's too gross.
of prime numbers, though, Prime Day is coming up on Amazon.
Hail Rodimus.
And you shouldn't buy stuff, but I still think that they should change it to August 8th. And nobody else seems to know why it should be changed to August 8th.
Something Hitler related?
No. No.
88.
No, it has nothing to do with that at all.
Well, I mean, 88.
Yeah. What possibly may have come out on August 8th?
I'm sure at least one gay person did.
Transformers the movie.
Oh, right. So we do indeed, like Dan said, we celebrate the birth of our Lord and Savior, Rodimus Prime,
No.
on Prime Day.
No. God damn it. Hey, my name is Andy, and I don't play much of Warmachine. I try to make it down on Wednesdays, but I do play Guild Ball.
My name's Nathan, and I don't play dick all. I'm too busy.
And I'm Dan, and I play Crucible Guard.
Yay!
Which means right now I play gluing my fingers together.
Yeah. I like that in the world of 3D printing, people are making the smoke towers for the Rocket Men.
Yes.
Yes. Well,
super
Tyson
cool.
Cook makes
Correct.
fucking amazing things.
So I'm saving up the $60 I need for those.
Just a couple years ago, people were green stuffing those for their Minutemen, and now it's just like, here's $20, 3D print me a bunch.
Yeah.
And that's just awesome.
Yeah.
And legally okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
I mean,
as long as you're not printing the Rocket Men themselves. I mean, that's my
Correct.
point, yeah.
Correct. Though Tyson could probably get the files.
He probably could. That would be less legally okay.
But, yeah, no. It's pretty awesome. Did you see the chibi aliens that I posted a couple weeks ago?
They were cute.
Those things are amazing. Made at Impact Miniatures.
Oh, are they Impact?
Yeah.
Nice.
They're awesome.
I
So,
was slightly sad that the chibi alien with the tongue out did not have a second chibi alien for the mini head.
Second tongue. It makes sense.
Was there anybody... I want chibi head... I want chibi chest burster mid-burst of a chibi person.
So, like a chibi big head with a little
Little
alien.
chibi alien coming out of its sternum.
Yes. I agree with that. I mean, it would be
I'm just
good.
thinking how that would work.
Yeah.
Well, like, they just wouldn't be too upset about it. They'd be like, what a funny prank, you got me.
That's true. And
Yeah.
the chest burster also has to be, yeah,
Yeah, exactly. They're
All
they're
happy.
both excited about it.
Yeah.
little party hat.
I'm free. Kill me. It'd be more like, like if you threw a surprise birthday party for Quato, and both of them were like, hey!
Ugh.
You have a little party hat on. Quaid, get to the reactor.
There are times I like practical effects, and Quato was not one of those days that I liked practical effects.
Really? I remember
Yeah.
looking okay.
What do you remember? Have you seen Total Recall recently?
Yeah, parts of it. Yeah.
I mean, some normal puppets have better articulation.
Hey, well, I chalk that all up to his mutation.
And the budget required for Arnold.
Nope, that's all canon. He looks like that. You can't say otherwise.
I could say otherwise.
That's true, but you couldn't prove
Yeah, I
otherwise.
could prove it.
But what we can prove is that it's too late to sign up for the WiTC. Friday was your last chance. We got a decent house going.
14 teams.
14 teams, so it's going to be a 4-round event, which will be fun to cram into one day, but we got it. We got this.
Nobody wanted to be on my team.
That's not true.
Well, one person wanted to be on my team.
It was too popular.
It was,
Your team reached 4 people, and the magnanimous man that you are, you're helping me run it.
Yeah, I am.
Plus, that frees you up to drink as many mudslides as you want.
Yeah, I will drink blind Russians.
Sure.
The question is,
That's what I choose to call it.
Tomato.
That's,
the real question is, are we going to drink a VFW out of multiple types of liquor for a second year in a row?
No, you're going to drink an Elks Lodge
Oh,
out of
you're right.
multiple types
That's
of
true.
liquor for the second year in a row.
how can I... So, In order for
But
me
yes.
to do this, if
We have to switch drinks because now they're expecting the blind Russian.
no, that's all I'm going to want to drink. That's all my diabetes wants. Just give me more liquefied alcohol-y sugar.
Sure.
That's basically what a blind Russian is.
I was going to say grenadine and vodka.
Well,
Or
just grenadine. Just do it the easy way.
Yeah, you won't get quite as drunk that way, but you will
No.
die of a diabetic shock.
Yeah. No, I was sitting there thinking of how I'm going to do this. So, like, if I am going to be the drunk judge, I'm going to have to. I can't drive.
Good news, by the way.
What?
Guess who's in chat?
Oh no! I know he's one of our friends.
Rodimus Prime 085.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, you don't have to drive. I can drive.
Yeah, no, I was going to ask you if somebody else could drive me there, it would be great.
I will drive. You will help me set up, and then you will get blitzed, and that'll be fine.
I'll be the drunk judge. It'd be great.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to.
you will fulfill the role John played last year of someone sleeping in the car.
I can handle my
Because
own.
I'm not letting
enough.
John's... Like, I will allow John much latitude, but he does not get to go sleep off around in the car.
Wait, so I'm not supposed to drink around John then to get him going?
Oh, I don't care about that. You're just not allowed to make him black out.
Okay. Well, he did that on his own last year. That was not my fault. That was just me introducing him to blind Russians, and then
Well,
and then
that wasn't my fault. It was just me doing it.
I just sold him the crack, Your Honor.
Definitely. I sold him the crack. I didn't tell him how much to take.
Well, that's the problem. You need to have strict instructions how much to take. Travis is in chat.
Uh-oh.
Hello, Travis. Oh, golly. Do we have announcements aside from, hey, it's too late for WITC?
Hey, tickets on sale for Warmachine Weekend.
That's true.
That is true.
Unless you want a VIP ticket, in which case I bought the last one.
Oh, you bought the last VIP ticket?
One of the last.
I didn't know there was such a thing.
Basically, I get a T-shirt and dice, and then I get into the vendor hall Thursday night instead of Friday.
Oh, sure. Because
So-
I can still buy T-shirt and dice.
Correct.
All right.
It's mostly me gambling on the rest of the Crucible Guard stuff being there.
Fair. Yeah.
I think that would be a good possibility.
Oh, there'd be plenty of them left.
I just don't want to build them during round one.
Right. I'm going. Oh, the unique T-shirt and dice. Okay, it's special VIP T-shirt and dice. See, I always go for the VIG at Adepticon every year, and I get it 0 of the years. Because you put in your cart, and then you check out, and then the website crashes,
Fuck
and then you put it in a
Adepticon.
cart, and you go to check out, and the website crashes, and then the
7
website won't load,
times
and then you
this year.
refresh it, and it won't load, and then you refresh it, and get in your cart, and then it tells you they're sold out, and then you throw your computer through a window.
I didn't get that bad, but like I said, I got kicked 7
Yeah.
times during the hotel purchase thing this year.
I don't want to feel. I didn't go for the VIG. I just went for the.
The swag bag
swag
is
bag
fine.
is the one I got.
The VIGs just had a few extra
Oh, they had
elements to the
extra
swag
swag,
bag.
that's
There's
fine.
extra swag, and I think you get like a handy from somebody. I don't know. It's various stuff.
You have your own Reg line, which is almost worth it.
Right. I kind of had my own Red line this time because I went in with like 3 people.
Fuck you.
And yeah, they're like, anyone whose name starts with HOFFMA get into this line. Everyone else get into this line because they did not split their alphabet very efficiently. Like I think they split it like by 8 letters, not thinking that
Sure.
certain portions of the alphabet are way more popular.
Yeah. Every year they have one line that's way long, and this year it was the R through W.
Yeah.
So we're just watching everyone just walk by and
Yeah. Like, I just did a little jig past him, and then I waited. See, like I got bit by it because I had to wait for him for like a half an hour. I guess I didn't have to wait, but
I wasn't giving you your key card.
that's true. The room keys, I could have. Yeah.
No, but Warmachine Weekend. I think hotels are open for that.
Yep.
Generally, it's on site, so it's awesome. And Warmachine Weekend is awesome. I'll give you a sneak preview. I'm going to be posting it tomorrow. The 90-day challenge model for this year is going to be Ragman.
I don't even have him painted yet. I can
There
do this.
you go. So the 90-day challenge, it's made for people who take a long time with models. So
Well, not as long as you take.
yeah, exactly.
Like 90 days is a speed painting challenge in Andy World.
That is.
I
That is.
only get 3 months.
Only
That's
3 months.
impossible.
But it's something silly that I started up with Warmachine Weekend about 3 years ago. We've had 3 90-day challenges. This is the 4th one. As just, some people don't have time, and I want to give them an option to paint one single model with minimal assembly in 3 months.
And I guess I should, in fairness, say that you paint rather quickly. I've seen you paint an entire Blood Bowl team in like 3 days. It just has to be 4 days before Chaos Cup.
When it's due, yes. Yes.
I mean, I'm no better. I'm debating if I want to paint that in the room Thursday night.
Ragman?
Because that is how I paint.
Sure. The person that won the very first 90-day challenge painted theirs in a day. And they also got grand craftsman for all of the painting challenge at Warmachine Weekend. So we'll have also quick previews of that too. We're going to have the normal P3. We're going to have the normal P3 categories along with just a single Monster Apocalypse category. So normally P3 has it included with their categories for Monster Apocalypse. We're going to have a special one for that. And then 90-day challenge and the creative challenge I have too, where you create have like a conversion model or something like that.
You have to have a convergence model?
No, conversion.
Convergence?
No. You can convert a convergence model.
I actually will, so that works out well. Whenever I get around to figuring out how to hook up with, how to touch base with somebody who has a spare Elias. I don't want to hook up with that person. No offense to that person.
Eilish?
Yes. That's what I meant to say.
His general release is October.
Yeah, I know, but somebody... I guess I could get the new one, but somebody... Arctic Circle in the chat already said that he had a spare one of those no quarters with him if I wanted it. Either way, I need a second one, and convert that up to the convergence version.
The new Eilish is coming out, I think, in a couple months anyway, so you might as well...
I think it actually looks better than the no quarter one. Yeah. Although part of that is... limitations on how they packaged it, I think, because the arm sticking up I don't think would have worked as well on a sprue that they wanted to package with the magazine.
They would have had to have his arm attached to his head in order to do that, which would have looked weird.
I will say we hadn't discussed price for the Eilish, so maybe I did have to hook up also touch base, but I'm not sure if that's what the going rate was.
How much? What was the going price?
Apparently,
I just
Nathan's
implied having
body.
sex with him.
Oh, okay.
That's what hooking up with somebody is, having sex with them.
Oh, damn it!
All those missed messages.
yeah. I'm like, I thought people just wanted to go fishing. I'm like, I don't want to go fishing.
Why would I want to go fishing with you, Tyra Banks? I'm busy.
I don't. There were no Tyra Banks. Maybe a bank
That was
Tyra.
Somebody named Tyra you met at a bank.
But yeah, Warmachine Weekend, check it out. It's awesome. You'll see me there. I'll be running the Hobby Lounge all weekend. We'll have some news. We'll have a return of some of the things that we did last year. We had a speed painting competition with Speed Racer in the background, and that was awesome.
Is it how much can you paint in one Speed Racer?
No, you have to be on speed.
No.
Everybody should take some speed and try to paint.
No, we're not going to do that.
That'd be great.
We could barely have alcohol outside of rooms up there.
It's way easier to sneak speed.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
You don't need a whole case of alcohol. You just need a little Tic Tac thing.
Okay, all these millennials out there aren't going to know where to get speed. Let alone what it is.
They're all on Ritalin. They handed that shit out at the school nurse like candy.
Yeah.
Sit down and shut up. Have some Ritalin. And that's just meth from a pharmacist.
Sure. That cheese is really good.
Yeah. That's because it's cheese.
What type of cheese do you have there?
It is red Thai curry cheddar.
Yeah. I like it a lot.
Mild curry infused with red chili peppers, garlic, ginger, lemongrass, and Katie limes? Coffee? I can't read from that.
Coffee?
Horrendously
kaffir
offensive
limes.
Yeah, horrendously offensive limes.
Kofifi?
Anyway, blended in creamy cheddar.
Is that what he had that day?
Yes, he was just talking about how much he loved red Thai curry cheese. And sexual assault.
I love how much he embarrassed our country in England. It was so great.
As opposed to...
like even more so than what he has done previously.
I did like the Ghostbuster meme. You have now chosen the instrument of your destruction. And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
the blimp.
It's just the fucking
baby blimp.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, I should see about volunteering for Warmachine Weekend if they still need people.
Yeah,
I'm sure they
There's
will.
an application on. Dude, were you not paying attention to Carl's notes?
Yeah, I know. I'm done. Application, nothing. I'll just call Carl.
But you could do that. But I think
like-
the protocol would be to.
Dude,
I mean,
You could
calling
talk
Carl
to
is
somebody
probably-
who's on
I'm
the
kind of a
committee.
big deal in my meta.
I beg to differ.
Well, not the War Machine meta.
Just
There's
the
a different
Nathan
meta. There's a different meta that I'm a big deal in.
Correct. The Madison Gwent meta.
Yeah. Dude, I'm a pretty big deal in the Madison Gwent meta. I'm probably in the top 10 players.
You're the top 10 players. It's just Nathan, your side account, your other side account,
And Keith.
and Keith.
I'm Keith and Jim.
Yeah.
Jim actually took a bit of a sabbatical, but he's been playing again recently.
Has he? I knew he was kind of sour on it for a while.
Well, it's in a. I mean, it's the same as like. Currently, it's almost like people who stopped playing during the Mark 1 field test into Mark 2. It's like, what's the point of playing right now if everything's going to change?
Or the last month of Mark 2.
Yeah. Yeah, more like the last month. Yeah, exactly. The last month of Mark 2 is where we are in Gwent right now. Because everything is going to change in October massively. So even if you enjoy the game now, people like Jim and like Brian is also this way. They play to get better. And if they know that all of that experience they build is going to be useless in 6 months, there's no reason for them to play. They don't play for the fun. They like to have fun while they're playing, but that's not their driving goal.
Correct.
I, on the other hand, play because I'm addicted, and I have to make sure I get my dailies. You
Speaking
wouldn't
of
know
addiction,
anything about that.
I would not know anything about addiction to WoW or
Yeah.
World of Warcraft. That's now changing this weekend or this Tuesday. It's gonna.
Oh, was that when the pre-expansion patch drops?
Yep. Pre-expansion patch drops. We're gonna lose a lot of things.
Yay!
It's gonna be a stat crunch. It's gonna suck because then we can't go farm old shit because old shit's gonna be super powerful than what it was before. Like I watched a video like right now. So the expansions went. The third expansion was Wrath of the Lich King, and then there's been I think 4 expansions since then.
So this is the 7th expansion.
I think we're on 8.
Legion.
This is 8.
3 plus 4 is 7.
Yeah, but
So this will be 8.
this will be 8
Right,
coming
sure,
up.
yes.
So there was video of a guy that went back to Wrath of the Lich King to take on the first boss, and they couldn't kill the first boss in
With the
Wrath
old
of the
stuff.
Lich King with the new stuff. I mean, it may not be so bad once you get up to level 120, but yeah.
It's nice. It's sweet, but has a little bit of a burn.
But yeah, I was able to.
Salsa verde. Should tomatillos in there? Or?
Nope, that is just jalapenos, Fresnos, some bell pepper, some carrots, some garlic, some onion. And then I basically grilled all of it and then just ground it up in a blender with some vinegar.
Nice. Sorry to interrupt your story. That's just
No,
kind of
my
a
story
fuss.
wasn't really anything.
It was terrible, but I'm just kidding. Because I
thought
don't
they
know.
completed
So
the
why is that
fucking-
a thing? Why?
Well, the numbers are too big.
They're
the
crunching
game.
it down so they have room to expand out. Because they've done this before.
Why don't they
Yeah.
just not make the numbers big?
Because sales.
So, well, I mean, I mean, right now, like you're doing like 12 million, 30 million a hit instead when they could be just like 30,000.
Right. It's pinball, right?
Yeah.
If every bumper does 1,000,000 points, why don't just have them be 1 point and it's the same proportion? But the numbers look bigger, so it's exciting.
People like seeing the big numbers in that. So, I mean, they did a stat crunch before. I think it
The
was
biggest
before
numbers.
Cataclysm.
Yes.
I think it was Cataclysm when it hit.
Do they just drop 3 zeros off of everything?
Pretty much.
So it has no functional change. So why would that make stuff different? Like, don't they also just drop the thing's health by 3 zeros as well, making it functionally identical? And if so, why is it harder to kill the Lich King with the new stuff?
They don't necessarily drop everything directly proportionally.
Yeah.
Because, well, because they want you also to have a reason to go out and get the new stuff and the new gear, so.
But if the new gear sucks compared to the old gear, that's the opposite.
But they haven't released. I mean, the other thing is, there's the pre-expansion pack, then there's the actual expansion content and the expansion endgame content they'll add later. And
Yeah.
each of those needs a level to get.
And those will have the 3 zeros back on them.
Probably something similar to that.
And more importantly to Andy, there will be more pets to grind.
Yeah, there'll be a lot more pets. I'm already going through and saving up all my tokens so I can get level 25.
I should break into your house and erase your WoW account.
You can't.
I could.
You can't.
I could.
You need my two-party and blah, blah, blah. I'm not telling you what you need to erase my account.
I have pliers, you have teeth. We'll get there.
Nah, I don't need my teeth.
You need pets
You
more.
are living proof that we don't need teeth.
I got some still.
It's a good thing you brought the soft shells for Nathan.
Although, in related news, like last week, I woke up and my face didn't hurt.
No.
Like the first time in like 20 years. Like it's crazy. Like my teeth don't hurt right now. Like probably because all the ones that were dying are all the way dead. So I'm down to just the good ones. And that's great.
I'm waiting to see the close-up shot from like John Kay cartoons.
Sure. It's like holes through them and yeah.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
I do.
Ren and Stimpy. But no, I'm excited for the patch that's coming up on Tuesday. Kind of, not really.
I think I'm actually going to be able to resist this one. I know nothing about it, but
it's got you can play Zandalari trolls, and have you seen what the troll shift changes look like?
no.
They look amazing. You could be like a turtle that's a bear. There's like a bear turtle, and then there's
So is it like a bear with a shell or a turtle with claws? Like which is it more? You know how
How
blue
close
green,
to man bear pig is it?
Yeah, like is it more bear, more turtle?
it's
Or how much pig?
Like are you telling me it's a full 50-50? Like you wouldn't be able to if you see one, boom, what do you see first? A bear or a turtle?
a birdle.
Okay.
Is it black and blue, or green, or gold and white?
I don't know how to answer that. All right, do we have anything else that we need to talk about?
Yes.
We do.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, there's a thing. With the elves and the pew pew.
Oh, all of the stupid internet people out again?
Oh, the CID.
Yeah. See,
The retribution CID. Oh, there's like stuff going on.
I should have made it a riddle. I should have been like, Andy, what does a bouncer do? CID. C.
Oh,
ID.
dude.
So yeah, so rep players are fucking retarded. But
Yeah, man.
within 20 minutes of it going up, someone was asking for Paradis to be immune to grievous wounds.
Just for the hell of it?
Because Phoenix Protocol is so unfair when it gets canceled, and how dare a 20-point Jack have a counter? Never mind the fact that it has 51 health boxes with Phoenix Protocol, and it's harder to kill than most Colossals.
Oh, that's
Totally a turtle.
Totally a turtle. I don't even see bear.
Well, it's his bear form.
Okay.
But
Okay. So when he's in bear form, it looks like a turtle. Gotcha. But yeah, no, it's like, oh no, counterplay. Why should counterplay exist?
Mm-hmm.
Although apparently Iris shooting into your deployment zone top of one is a thing that maybe shouldn't be a thing.
It won't be a thing soon.
Right. But it is currently a thing.
It is currently a thing that has a yellow comment on it saying this will change.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
don't bother testing this one. We know it's bad. Are bad.
Correct. And like same thing with that battle mages are supposed to be FAU.
No, that one was confirmed intentional.
That they are they're supposed to be
Yes.
FAU.
Oh,
Yes.
that one was just Pagani going, I forgot to highlight something and
Correct.
make it green.
Correct.
My bad. What's the exact quote?
And Revive sticking around, good as ever.
I
like it as notes is like, we know it sucks. Deal with it.
Yeah. My favorite was someone said, let's make revive type spells allow you to sacrifice your movement or action. And I'm like, oh yes, me and my Bile Thralls want that.
Yeah.
Like, I will go buy another box of them.
Revive, sack move.
Wait for it. Then he's like, yeah, I think that's okay. And I'm like, my sweet child, you do not play in Mark II.
Or Mark 1.
Would you like another piece of cheese, Andy?
Yes.
Would you like 2 right away?
Yes.
Just grabbing a knife.
Yeah, that's safe.
It's got a cheese sheath.
There's that tank, and with the I like the mechanics on the tank. I like the TK wake. It's a neat concept.
The tank, I need to see it on the table. Its potential is really damn high. But
Iron Sea, did they do much to they didn't do anything to the cricket, did they?
no,
It
they
wasn't
did
even
nothing
in there.
to the cricket,
Yeah.
which was confusing.
But the correct thing to do. The cricket's fine.
Oh yeah, no, it's not necessary.
The only thing I could see that would be a change that I'm debating if I should suggest, but right now it isn't, is pulling the battle engines out of the free points for defenders. And then I think the cricket's perfectly fine if it's not automatically the right choice for the first 32 or 34 points within a defender's iOS list.
Oh, because you think that taking 2 of those and getting free points off of them is too good?
Seeing what David has done, it's on the edge. Like I said, I don't know if you need to, but that would be the only change I would think of. Also, just because right now you can take 2 crickets and 2 tanks with Raven, and I don't know a caster that survives that under average dice.
Fair.
Other than potentially Terminus.
After his feet?
No, just because he can sack pawn to a Wraith engine.
Oh, that's fair. That's
so.
fair. Which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was thinking like, oh, you could still do that, but it was a sack pawn to a battle engine that got changed for the Quato theme force.
Correct.
Right.
Because the Wraith engine has to decloak to do it and is only armor 20 with 26 boxes, so it just gives Terminus 40-some boxes, and then he might survive, but...
There's Karchev.
I don't think Karchev survives 2 tanks under Raven's feet.
I remember in Mark 1 somebody trying to Raven assassinate my Gorton, and nobody played Mercs in their meta.
Oh.
And so they he just snipe you go, we strip it, I'm shooting, and I'm, what's your stats? I'm like 19, and he's like, well, I ignore focus. I said, I know. And then all of his stuff did 2 total damage, and it was bad for him.
Mm-hmm.
They're just so used to it, right? They're just so used to I'm going to kill you with my 20 POW 10 shots. And no, you aren't. I love that little guy.
Well, I mean, Butcher had the same things too. Because I remember playing.
Yeah, but they expected it. For some reason, they never even bothered to check my stats or anything.
Sure.
They just assumed that little guy wouldn't be armor 19.
Yeah.
They did bring up, I forget the name, they didn't bring up in Mark II, someone with Raven did set a perfect Mage Hunter score in Old Hardcore. They killed 0 non-caster models across 7 rounds.
I think that was Andy Padel.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
So.
There you go. If he's listening, shout out.
Hi, Andy Padel.
Why
I
are
miss you.
I don't know who it is.
It's a guy that works for Nintendo.
Oh, sure.
And
okay, yes.
I used to hang out with him all the time when I go to Lock and Load, but I have not been able to go to Lock and Load this last couple of years. It sucks.
No,
there it is. It's the last one. Is the
otherwise,
Friday.
the ret stuff is good. Desters actually work now.
Yeah.
I was meaning to go out on Wednesday and do some play testing, and unfortunately, I did not get out. Some things came up at work, and I just got stuck at work, and then I wowed.
Yeah, I worked until 9:30 last Wednesday, and I'm gonna have to do it again this Wednesday. It's a little annoying.
It's a good thing we didn't reschedule for Wednesday then.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you that.
Yeah. Because I thought that would have been a good time to take on the second round of CID. I was afraid they didn't change anything at all on Friday at all.
No, I'm expecting something either tomorrow or Tuesday actually. So.
Oh really? That quick? Oh.
Well, at the very least, something about. I mean, they have to do something about the iris thing because any testing of it is pointless. But without knowing what it's being changed to, it's tough to still test.
Especially
things.
since they're probably changing the tank to fix it. So they're
they're
either changing the tank or the theme force. So limiting how much they're testing with it is important.
You have the AD iris that then you can slipstream.
Basically, yeah.
And
with slipstream and snipe and all that stuff, she can shoot into the deployment zone top of 1.
And 3 inches in. So
yeah, not just directly across from her. She has flexibility.
Yep.
And that's Iris 3?
Iris 1.
Iris 1. Okay.
So you strip all your focus. Guess who doesn't get to put any of your spells up turn 1 or camp at the end of turn 1?
Yeah. Yeah. Best case is you're a Hordes caster who cuts for X, top of 1.
Yeah. But if you're a Warmachine caster, it's just you get 0 spells, and wherever you end your turn, you're going to be naked.
In front of Raven.
Yeah. who then is probably just going to make it happen again if they don't kill you.
Correct.
Like, you're just in a cycle now. You're in a you never get to have focus for the rest of the game cycle until you manage to kill Iris.
You know what I found out? I found out that's the quickest way to get somebody to quit the game.
Sure.
Immediately is when their Karchev loses all their focus, and then next turn they don't kill Iris, and so their Karchev loses all their focus.
Was that with Sorsha 1, or was that just in general?
No, that was...
Because that one's the really dumb one.
That was with me playing Ron.
Mm-hmm. So who's excited for a Ron list with 6 battle mages? Or units of battle mages?
That's too many.
Actually, it's. I don't think you can do 6. I think you can do 5.
Yeah. I did. I was going through my list that I normally played with Ron. It's caramel and salted caramel Kit Kats. My friend got them for me when she was in Australia.
But yeah, there's such a thing as going too all in on a gimmick.
I mean, the big issue with them, and the thing with the change to their force barrier, losing force barrier for them, it hurts. But nobody really ever charged my battle mages. It just usually just shot them off the table. So them losing 2 defense.
I particularly like spelling them actually, because everyone would be like, "Ha, they're 15." I'm like, no.
Mm-mm.
Not against spells.
Well, my new list that I made, I actually have them all with a
Solus.
Yep, a Solus escort.
Mm-hmm.
That made it a little bit better.
Otherwise,
it makes up for the extra the points that you were losing.
Otherwise, Andy had 2 points left over.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I just...
Rodimus is more and more correct every day.
Yeah. We're not going to comment on that.
I mean, he's right.
Elves are evil.
He's right.
They are the crappiest race in the Tolkien books.
In the Tolkien books?
Tolkien.
You just cut it off. You don't need it in the Tolkien books.
Well, I'm just saying that style of elves. Like, the elves are fine in, like, the Santa Claus mythos.
I mean, at that point, isn't that just slavery?
Yeah. But they're happy, I guess? I don't know. Are they more like indentured servants? Is there a difference? Is there like an elf chattel? Like, how? Never mind.
Yeah, I'll say.
Yeah, you're going down a hole.
I can't do Brian justice, so let's move on.
Fair. That's all we have on the Ret CID?
Yeah, as I tried making lists. I made 2 lists. I wanted to test out, and I just couldn't. I could not get out to do it. Mm-hmm. I'll have to see what changes are done, see how they work out this week.
Keebler elves are good.
Yeah, they make us double fudge cookies.
Mm-hmm.
So, Andy, think about this one.
Mm-hmm.
Imperatus with force barrier now. Because the Artificer thing is just model unit.
Yeah, no, it's... I mean, it's... I like it, but... I almost feel that you need to lift a restriction on the Artificers now.
I mean, they're in Legion of Dawn as well now. So.
But you can only have 2 of them.
Jim's bad-mouthing hobbits in the chat, and I will hear none of that. They don't wear shoes, they hate strangers, and they eat shitloads of food. Like, they're my spirit animals.
I can't disagree with anything you said.
I will also throw rocks at people.
I'll say it again. In The Hobbit, the dwarves are the worst. Those dwarves
are we talking The Hobbit specifically, or
talking about the
Tolkien
3 new movies?
The 3 new the Hobbit movies. Yes, those dwarves. You mean those?
How can I phrase this correctly? How is the 3rd movie? I've refused to watch it.
It's the worst of the 3.
No,
the first is the best of the 3, and that is sad.
Yeah, I mean
that's only because of the song.
Yeah, well, it starts out like the dwarves are actually characters in the movie. In the 2nd and 3rd one, they are not. Like, you lose... I didn't even remember half of them. It's like, I don't know
all I really remember of the 2nd movie is a needless river scene and a needless gold golem.
Yeah.
I know there was another 2 hours of that
giant
movie.
Gold statue. The whole fucking chase scene in
the Tom and Jerry chase sequence is so good.
Oh, Jesus, it's the worst, most needless thing.
Yeah, it's pretty horrible. No, but I still stand by this. That shit of a movie.
Sorry. I am definitely being trolled because that's just factually false in the chat there. But go on.
But,
Hobbits are not weak-willed except for Sam. The Hobbits are all stronger-willed than any other race. Their weakest-willed one is stronger-willed than the strongest-willed human. It's just that Sam is especially strong-willed for a Hobbit, making him nigh invulnerable to any willpower-based magics. Like, Frodo carried that ring forever, and he was a whiny little pisspot, and a human would turn in instantly. Like, literally instantly. They touch the ring, they're evil. Whereas he carries it for, like... Yes,
for 25 years or something. Well, actually, Bilbo had it for almost 50 years.
Yeah. Sorry, you were saying something about how bad the Hobbit movies were.
But Gollum.
Okay, Smeagol took a long time to fully turn.
Yeah.
And B, Smeagol wasn't a Hobbit. He was a Hobbit-like creature. It was some offshoot different thing. That's like comparing... he was a Hobbit-like. He's a different race. It's almost like comparing, like two different styles of dog.
Sure.
But like fairly similar one. Like maybe like a golden retriever and a yellow lab or something. We're not talking...
Sure. Okay.
But technically Smeagol was not a Hobbit.
I still stand by this. Even though it's a shite movie... I put in some of the Irish you were talking... But anyway...
Scottish it was.
Scottish. The Huntsman... The dwarves that are in The Huntsman are far better than any of the dwarves that were in The Hobbit. Also because one of them was Ian McShane. Mm-hmm. And they looked like fucking dwarves. That was the problem I had about The Hobbit, is you look at the dwarves, there was like 3 dwarves in there of the 7 or 9 that they had.
13.
Whatever. But there was like 3 or 4 of them that really looked like dwarves. And then there,
Thorin is basically forced perspective Aragorn.
Correct.
It's Aragorn 20 feet further away.
Yeah. It's like when I originally saw the trailers in that and all the posters in that, I'm like, oh, that's like an Aragorn guy. That's just a regular human. No, it's the dwarf that he doesn't look like a dwarf.
I'm happy that Peter Jackson is now using his amazing special effects wizards for good instead of evil. He's just remastering World War I footage.
Oh, nice.
And it looks really good, but he doesn't have to write or, come up with a story to bastardize or anything like that. It's just take this old World War I film footage and make it look pretty.
But I would say this. I feel that The Hobbit was probably more so not really that much under his control. The studio basically wanted him to recreate the success that he did with the original trilogy, and they had to basically conform to that.
It was supposed to be 2 movies. They split it to 3. I have a recommendation, but I'll tie it in at the end when we do recommendations.
I say, is it a fan edit that gets it down to 1 movie?
No, it is not. But it is kind of a side recommendation to something I've mentioned before. But also, Battle of 5 Armies, how do you have Billy Connolly to play Dane and you CGI him instead of just using Billy Connolly? They just had him voice a CGI creation. Put some fucking makeup on Billy Connolly. Or don't. He already looks like Billy Connolly.
That's actually my favorite part of Battle of 5 Armies is Dane when he arrives with the Iron Dwarves. Because, that part looks fucking cool.
They look like dwarves, I guess, but yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. The first 2 were so bad. Well, mostly the second one was so bad I refused to watch the third one, even when someone else was paying.
It's better than the second, but it's not.
I know, but
much.
at this point, it's the principle of the matter.
It's longer, and the thing is, all of the length is that it's all the shit that shouldn't be in it. Just bloating it out. It's all the Tom and Jerry chase sequence. It's the love triangle that shouldn't exist. It's
all the stuff they put in to make it 3 movies?
Yeah, it's all that extraneous stuff finally coming to a head. So when you have 10 plot lines you didn't want in the first place, and all 10 of those plot lines get resolutions in a movie, you just hate the movie. And it has Legolas walking on rocks falling in midair in a terrible CGI spectacular that is just...
Yeah, when they're crossing the bridge, or he's like,
Yeah.
Hey, actually,
running up rocks as they're falling.
speaking of all of those words you just said, have you been following Nigel live tweeting him watching all the Twilight movies?
I have not.
It is.
I've been talking to him in a different group chat about it, but
It is amazing.
and
I am looking forward to Breaking Dawn Part 1 at this point.
I'm gonna magically stop aging so I can fuck that baby. Great plot line.
I mean, there's a plot there. It's a bad plot, but at least there's a plot, which is better than the first movie.
So, somebody brought this up, and I didn't realize it either. And you didn't really comment on that much, all except for you said that the 2014 one was shit. But RoboCop is being made again by Neil Blomkamp.
Like another reboot, or
I don't know if it's a continuation or if it's a reboot. I'm hoping that it's a reboot, but I don't know.
I mean, Neil Blomkamp I like in general. He does good stuff,
yes,
right?
generally
So-
his movies have been pretty...
No. It's 3 hours of that shit. Like, it's 3 hours of this.
I'm going to put your phone in the salsa.
Like, why?
Yeah. And that's very jittery, too. It's very
Yeah.
smooth in the movie.
And it makes it look worse.
Yeah.
Like that last shot there where it's far away, it's just pure 1993 CGI. It's just so fucking bad.
It's basically somebody who has a hard-on for Legolas, and they're like thinking, like, what else can we do that'll be really badass, man? Well, let's have him riding down on a shield down the side of a castle.
That was dumb, but at least like workable.
Yeah.
I hated that was him his sword, him killing that Oliphant. Everything about him killing that Oliphant is terrible.
Yeah. He's basically somebody who ended up rolling 20s on his D20 through every agility check.
No,
everything.
it's someone who got a hold of their character sheet and has been surreptitiously changing the stats. Because he is
natural
not.
20s thing.
He does not start that good either.
That's true. Yeah, so we should make a small video of some sort of like showing a couple shots of him like missing things in the very first movie, and then showing somebody like
I'll say
writing
I
on the
DM'd
character sheet, and then showing the whole Elephant scene.
Yeah, say I've DM'd people in high school. That shit happens.
Yeah.
So I haven't played D&D since it became a thing, but the natural 20 is the stupidest fucking thing to me. Like, I was reading a thing the other day where someone was talking about how like their party was fighting on like a bridge or whatever, and like one of the characters, a dwarf, got knocked off the bridge, right? And so he started flapping his arms, and the DM's like, "What?" And he's like, "Well, I have nothing else I can do. I might as well try." And so he's like, "Fine, roll your agility." He rolls a 20, so the dwarf just gets to fly by flapping his arms. No, fuck you. Your dwarf is dead.
No, that's somebody.
But
That's
like
somebody's-
apparently if
that's
you
a
roll a
failure
20,
as
you
a
get
DM.
to do whatever you
No.
want in Dungeons and Dragons,
Not
no matter
necessarily.
because
No.
you get to
That's-
trump the DM.
I
rolled a 20, I get whatever I want.
No, that's a failure of the DM. That's not right at all.
One of my groups had a rule like that once, but you had to roll it 3 times in a row. So then it was at least statistically improbable enough to be worthy of doing the dumb shit we pulled off the few times it happened.
You could have made an agility check or something like that if the dwarf fell off the bridge to grab like a vine or something that's hanging off the side of it. That would make sense. Flapping my arms, like as you're flapping your arms, you catch a vine on the side of the bridge. That's how you would do it.
That's how it should be done.
Yes, not magically flying dwarves. Fuck that DM.
See, I'm okay with making a talking bear, right? Like that's my favorite Dungeons and Dragons thing ever is Sir Berenstein.
That one is
You
amazing.
seen that?
No.
The guy makes a bear, and he's as his character type, like his race is a bear,
No,
and he specs into a rogue, so he maxes out bluff, and he just like pretends to be a person, and everyone falls for it.
Yes, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
And
Yes.
like he has a squire, like butler manservant, who has a translation thing, so he can understand him, and he just like speaks for him.
Yeah.
And he's talking about like he's getting knighted, and he's at the ball, and for the first time, someone sees through it, and they're like, "Holy fuck, that guy's a bear!" And like everybody just throws him out of the party because he's an insane person.
We're sorry, Sir Barrington.
We're so sorry about the disruption of your party.
That's workable creativity. Flying
creativity.
dwarves is not workable creativity.
Speaking of workable creativity, the old, I think it was 3rd edition book, rogue description, has one of my favorite ideas of workable creativity, which is the description of what a half-orc rogue looks like. Where it's like, they still steal stuff, they just don't use stealth, they just beat people up.
You're a rogue. Although half-orc, I guess what race is, fuck, that game, it's a stealth game where you play as like this goblin, basically. Shit.
Oh, I know.
It was free on PS Plus a couple years ago, so you probably have it. And there's only like 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's like
his name's like Stitch or something, or Stilch, or Styx. Like the band Styx, the Master of Shadows. I don't know what the fuck race he is. Maybe he is a goblin according to Wikipedia. But yeah, so he's still a rogue, but he's just this brutish green thing.
Mm-hmm. My old DM would never let me be a quickling thief.
I mean, that's because Brian hated you.
Yeah. Brian still hates me. He's fucking running D&D right now.
Yeah. Well, he didn't invite you for the same reason he didn't invite me. They're doing it on Sunday evenings.
They were doing it on Sunday afternoon.
The point is, yeah. Well, and
I would have quit this podcast in a hot minute to go play D&D again.
I also work alternate Sundays, so it still wouldn't have worked for me. But yeah, I hear you.
As somebody who really enjoyed his D&D sessions with Brian Geezy 25 years ago, 30 years ago, that, yeah.
I was always mad at my DM to never let me play as a gnoll, because hyenas are the best, therefore gnolls are the best.
I have one running around with me, and wow, he is my buddy. His name is, shit.
The correct thing the DM should have done for you for your Quickling Thief, by the way, was let you make the character, and then say, okay, you win, and then just retire the character and have you make another one. And say, good job with that Quickling Thief, you won.
He made us take on Quicklings, and then we had a wizard that ended up just casting like a bright light of some sort. And Quicklings don't do well with that. Just as a flash, and then thunk, thunk, thunk.
They're blinded.
Yeah.
The last campaign I played, we had a fight. It wasn't necessarily the same thing, but just makes me think about it. But we were fighting something in the dark, and we mathed out that the penalty for fighting while on fire was less than the penalty for fighting while blind, and so the wizard set me on fire. So I was just this flaming barbarian lighting up the room.
Nice.
It was great. DM did not expect it. The guy with the little,
His name is Meatball, and as a follower in WoW, he will fight alongside of you until he gets really hungry, and he'll instantly kill whatever mob you're taking on.
Rodimus Prime, a Quickling is basically if a halfling was the Flash.
Yeah. They have like a movement, of like a base movement. I can't remember if it was feet back in 2nd edition, but they had like a base movement of 96.
Yeah.
So like a normal player would have like a base movement of 6.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were very fast.
They were the Flash.
They're basically like brownies, but yeah, they're.
I stole the baby.
They should not have been.
Do they have like damage vulnerability bees?
Bees? Yeah,
Yes.
no, they are affected by bees.
Oh well, then they're not like the Flash at all.
No. The Flash is affected by bees.
The Flash gets killed by bees in the TV show.
Yeah, it's true. But they're electronic
But then he
bees.
gets well, sure, robo bees.
Yeah,
I mean, to be
robo-bees.
fair, they were like worse than actual bees.
Yeah. I saw a comic recently was talking to basically comparing all the different animals or the insects and that. So like there's like a honeybee that goes up to a flower and that, and like say, hey, can I have some of that flower, etc. And there was a bumblebee that's like funk, bunk, bunk. Hey, can I? Because bumblebees are not very
Bright.
they're not very bright.
Hence
And
the bumble part.
yeah,
And then there's the wasp, and you're like, fuck you.
yeah.
I was over at Marshall's place before coming here, just killing time because I got done with work at 11, and I'm like, I don't want to drive home.
I'm confused with this concept of you getting done with work.
Yeah. Well, I had to go in at 3 to be done at 11. So that was fun. But anyway, sorry. Oh, Marshall was playing Enter the Gungeon, and he got a bazooka that shot out bees, and that was cool. And then later in the run, he just got a beehive that just sprayed bees, like a flamethrower made out of bees, and there's no better weapon in the world. Like the bosses were just covered in bees.
Yep.
I'm just thinking of the pain now.
Yeah. Yeah. More Metal Gear Solid 3 talk.
It's because it's the best.
Metal Gear Solid 3, 1 and 3 are the best Metal Gears.
Somebody?
I don't know. But 1 and 3 are the best Metal Gears.
Yeah, no, I have them downstairs. I thought I was lending them to somebody. I can't remember if I was doing that. Oh, well, too bad.
What do you have them on? PS2? PS1? 3? And 3? Are they like re-released?
Yeah, they're special collection. They're not. They're like. I don't think they're actually upgraded that much.
Sure.
But I have those. I also have the. I actually still have the Twin Snakes. That was for the GameCube.
Nice.
Which is exclusive.
Oh, the one that was really nice, but unfortunately horrendously unbalanced because that game was not designed for first person.
It was not. You know, the fight against Revolver Ocelot is stupid.
The entire game is stupid.
That is true.
Just because...
Like Vulcan Raven, same thing. You just shoot him from a mile away.
Correct.
Like,
yeah, it's fun playing it through until you realize that they didn't upgrade the AI engine, and the level design was not designed for that level of accuracy.
Yeah. Like, in theory, I guess you could play it and just not use FPS, and then basically you're almost getting the same as the original game, except that they made that stupid temperature keyed card puzzle less stupid at the end of the game. Or at least less, boring and labor-intensive.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a Metal Gear Solid game. You should have to do something like that at least once a game.
You should have to backtrack for half an hour to get to the cold room, and then backtrack for half an hour to get back to where you use the cold key, and then backtrack for half an hour to get to the hot room, and then backtrack for half an hour to take the hot key to where you need to go. Or you can just go the next room over and shoot a couple pipes. Mm-hmm. One of those is far more sane than the other.
Yes.
And therefore doesn't belong in a Metal Gear game. Yes. You win this time, Dan, because I described something as sane.
Man, I don't remember that sequence at all.
There's the...
No, I know.
You remember now the heat-changing
slightly.
thing? Yeah, it's just a key that changes shape, and so instead of just picking up different keys, that was the gimmick. And in the original one, you had to backtrack to rooms, and the new one, they just put 2 pipes, and you shot one, and steam came out, you shot the other, liquid nitrogen came out. So it's just like, it's hot now, it's cold now, because they knew that everybody hated that fucking puzzle.
Especially the part of the puzzle where once you got it hot, you had to run back through the cold room.
Yeah.
And there was the very cool shot of Raven's dead body, and if you looked at it, it would, like, freeze.
Yeah. It's a good game. Mm-hmm. I love the original Metal Gear for the PS1. That's one of my favorite games ever. I love the plot of it. I thought it was really interesting.
Mm-hmm. I actually...
You don't like the vampires in 2?
I don't like the anything in 2. I hate Sons of Liberty. And I'm in it.
I really...
That's how much I hate that game.
You're in it?
Yeah, there was a
beta test on it?
No, there's a contest you could send in. It's just my name and blood type. If you kill guards, you get their badges.
And there's a Nathan Hoffman.
There's a yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. There was like a PlayStation magazine competition, and they just like picked like 200 random people.
Nice. I should see if I can find you in it.
See if you can find me. I'd recommend against it. The game's terrible.
Is it? The gameplay in it was actually good though, but it was more of the story was a little.
The story goes off the rail
under the U.S. Capitol. And
yeah,
I mean, if you want to get crazy, you play 4. Yeah. 4 is the one where it just goes completely off the rails.
But they lean into Raiden more than, and I guess maybe because then he's just straight up anime boy and.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, 2 it was mostly Raiden
with his magic chin.
Was it? Yeah. 2 was mostly Raiden.
Yeah, 2 is pretty much all. They bait and fucking switch you. 2, you play as Snake for the first like 10 minutes, and then you switch to Raiden forever.
Yeah, I didn't mind it. I guess.
Well, I
remember some of the boards being really.
I wasn't ready for the insanity. Like now, I know how insane Metal Gear gets. 1 is, I mean, it's got weird stuff in it. But it's almost believable. It's somewhere between Tom Clancy and Michael Crichton. Like, there's some weird science in it, but it's mostly just politics and military. Mm-hmm. I mean, sure, there's a psychic guy. I get that there's a psychic guy.
Yeah.
But it's, buried under all that. But then 2 has you fighting President Dr. Octopus, who's under the command of artificial AI that spontaneously evolved in the basement of the White House and has allied itself with a man who's been conquered by the ghost of the person who he got his hand transplant from. And it's like, what the fuck is going on here?
Mm-hmm. And then you get to 4, and then you realize that he self-hypnotized himself so that he would pretend to be his arm.
It wasn't actually... I don't know if that was a retcon or was always the plan, but either way, it's equally insane, just the other direction.
Well, I mean, have you seen any of the footage for Death Stranding yet?
Yeah. By the way, 5 is the one with the sniper that can't wear clothes or speak. But don't you feel mean for mentioning that she can't wear clothes, because once you find out why she can't wear clothes, you'll feel bad about bringing it up. Spoiler, no, we don't feel bad. It's stupid. Your reason's stupid. You just wanted to look at titties. You pervert. At least be like Yoko Karo and just admit that you like titties. Like, I love that that's the guy who did Nier. Mm-hmm. Like, when people talk about Nier Autonoma, and the main character is just this running around a schoolgirl, and they're like, what's with the schoolgirl? It's like, I like butts. And if you rotate the camera, you can see her butt. It's great. It's like, okay, you're a dirty, perverted old man, but at least you're not hiding it. The honesty is refreshing. Fucking Hideo Kojima, quiet, she breathes through her skin, and if she wore too much clothing, she'd suffer. Fuck you like tits. Just say it.
No, I think he just likes
Meryl and Emma and Eva and whoever the female character in 4 was.
Like, in the first game, you had a plot. You had a game mechanic that involved staring at a woman's ass. Like, we know you're a dirty old pervert. Just admit it.
Yeah, it's. I mean, Hideo Kojima is just weird in general.
He is weird in general.
It's basically, it seems like Konami, as the games went on, they just slowly said, okay, you could just do whatever. You could just do whatever. You could just do whatever. And then they finally got to the point of, after 5, and they're like, you what?
Well, no, what it was, they're like, do whatever, and they're fine. And then 5 came out. They're like, do whatever. We don't care. It's crazy. It doesn't make sense. We don't. It cost how much? The fuck? And that's when they shut him down. When he's spending like $200 million making a Metal Gear game.
No. Yeah. Even though 5 was really good, actually. 5 especially when you got it for free. But
yes. Yeah, PS4 I gave that away. So good.
I haven't played it yet. The scariest thing about Death Stranding is that I actually think the trailer makes perfect sense and I understand everything that's going on.
I do need to watch that because, Hideo Kojima is approaching that point when David Lynch dropped off, but I don't think he's hit it yet.
Oh, I think he's well over that ledge.
Yeah, but I think
him and David Lynch are just skipping along the old road.
I don't think
trying to find the
difference is he still makes art that's good.
Death Stranding makes sense to me. The pieces they're weird little details individually, but they add up because their weirdness overlaps.
Do I need to call Section Anderson to haul you off, or?
So here's a weird thing that people got babies inside of them and like a baby in a jar. But here's another weird thing. The enemies, when they touch you, like you skip in time. Okay, so what if enemies hyper age you and that's how they kill you, and the babies are like an emergency kit. Like you die and then boom, new you, hyper baby. It makes sense. You're hyper aged, so you keep a spare baby. That'll be you. Guarantee that's what the babies are. The babies are for use against the hyper-age monsters. It all makes sense.
No.
You just have to be insane.
Like I said, I need to see it. But
you do need to see it.
Because like I said, as much as I sometimes rage on him for being insane, I do enjoy all of his stuff. So
yeah. I mean, he does crazy well.
He does. 2 just pissed me off because I was not ready for the crazy. I should go back and try 2 again, but I'm sure I'll still hate it.
I think you'll be fine. Like I said, it's probably some of the best music I remember in a video game. Is that one? That one just I think.
Besides, you get to the end. You can get to the end of it, and you put the controller down, and then it turns off, and an hour later you turn it back on. Wait, no, that was 4, where the controller actually turned off on me from inactivity.
Yeah. 4 is the one where you watch several feature-length films over the course of the game. As the old joke goes, Metal Gear Solid 4 was a great movie. I hope they make a game adaptation someday.
Yeah, actually, we did time it. There was more cutscenes and gameplay.
Yeah,
for me.
Yeah, there was at least I know for a fact there's an hour and a half cutscene in that game.
Yes, like I said, the controller turned off during that one for inactivity.
I've started 4 a ton of times, and then I'm just like,
I need to play it again to see if it's as insane as I remember. I'm pretty sure it is.
1 is the one with Psycho Mantis, Jim.
Correct.
If you're remembering anything good, it's in 1
or 3.
Yes, if you're remembering something that's so stupid it's almost fun, it's in 4.
I never played 3. I own it. I just never played it. I just know.
It's basically 1 again.
Yeah.
You know, it's,
no, I hear Snake Eater is a really good.
Snake Eater's really good.
It
It's
also
got different new mechanics, but as far as the sanity level,
and it has, I think, actually the best music in the series.
and it's got young Revolver Ocelot. Think about it.
I like Revolver Ocelot.
You'll like this one. He is
Yeah.
important.
Young, like the Metal Gear Solid 3 is about Revolver Ocelot.
Okay.
Like he is one of the main plot things.
All right, I'm sold. I should load that up.
Yeah, he's good. He's good because it's cool seeing him. Yeah. Just you should. If you like Revolver Ocelot, you should play 3. It's the best Revolver Ocelot game.
It's really been a long time since I actually sat down and played a Metal Gear game all the way through. I mean, like the last one I did play was 2 all the way through, and I didn't play any of the others since then.
Yeah, I did 1, 2, and 3 all the way through. I did not play all the way through 4, but I know a lot of the plot points of it, and I've seen several of the cutscenes, and I've seen Raiden's chin dodges. Then 5, played a bunch of 5, but I haven't beaten 5, but I've played a lot of 5.
Well, it depends on what you consider beating 5 as well, because
Sure.
the last mission is like 2/3 of the way through.
I have D-Dog, so I've won.
Ah,
That's all that matters is having
What's
D-Dog.
D-Dog?
It's a dog. He's awesome. I have a dog. Like Mad Max style, like
Yeah,
Fallout
sure,
style. I have a dog.
he's great,
He's great.
All right.
especially when you give him the knife
Yeah.
and then he shanks people.
Your dog can stab people for you. A knife-equipped dog. What's better than that? I mean, the horse is good too, but
Quiet humming incessantly.
beating quiet because you have to fight quiet, and it's the whole sniper fights like they have with Sniper Wolf.
Sure.
In the first one, they love their sniper fights, but you can just call down ammo crate drops, and they do fall damage when they hit things, so you can just bombard her with crates. It's the easiest way to cheese that fight.
Well, I know in Metal Gear Solid 5 you can get rid of enemies by just attaching them with balloons and just watch them go away.
You
Yeah.
can do that with animals too. It is.
Yeah.
My wife walked into me playing and she just saw like 5 people getting launched up by balloons. Like, what the hell are you doing? I'm like,
In fairness, it's not an enemy neutralization method; it's a corpse disposal method
slash
unconscious person disposal method.
Sure. I know that there's,
recruitment tool.
yes.
I-
You're in the club now. Vunk.
I know that there's like a big achievement if you go through it without killing anybody.
Yeah, they always have those.
There's also an achievement for Fultoning 300 people, which I got.
It's fun.
All right, I need to try some of that.
I'll rip you a piece of tortilla.
Ah, little D-Dog. Do we have something else we were going to talk about? I feel like there was something else we were going to talk about.
I can rant about how retarded rep players are some more.
Yeah. I watched Isle of Dogs today. It's all right.
That was
Not
really
Wes-
good,
not,
Dan.
Not Wes Anderson's strongest film. But it had stop-motion doggos, and doggos are good.
I'm not a Wes Anderson fan. I don't know what it is.
Wes Anderson is very Wes Anderson-y, and so you need to like Wes Anderson.
I can say I probably never watched a movie with Wes Anderson, but even the trailers turn me off to the film.
They are all Wes Anderson-ish to various extents. I think you might like Fantastic Mr. Fox. Fantastic Mr. Fox is a real fun movie. I think you might enjoy it.
That's not. Isn't that like a different tale?
What?
That he's adapting it from?
No.
Oh, that's just one of his.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's not. I mean, it looks like it's from some. I don't think it's from anything. I think he just makes it look like it feels like a Toad Hall kind of thing. You know,
Yeah.
like the Mr. Toad's Wild Ride and stuff.
Yes,
Because there's badgers
that's-
and stuff, but I think it's all original.
okay. Yeah, I mean, like a Life Aquatic and like a Grand Budapest.
Grand Budapest Hotel was a beautiful movie.
Maybe I just need to watch them. I just when I see it, it just doesn't appeal to me. But it's probably one of those things I'll probably really like if I sat down and watched it.
Do you like who's the guy? You know, The West Wing, Sorkin, Aaron Sorkin, like Sports Night, West Wing.
Never watched them.
Okay, all right.
I mean,
It's that
I've
same
seen-
style of overly intelligent, fast dialogue where it's like very artificial and it feels like a smart person writing how they wish their conversations went. It's
Oh, like The Big Bang Theory.
No, that's a dumb person writing how smart people would talk. This is a smart person writing how smart people would talk. It's almost egotistically smart, but
Sure.
even when he writes dumb characters, they're dumb in like a smart they're delightfully droll.
Sure.
So there's a Hellboy reboot?
Yeah.
Yeah, starring the guy from The Thing. that one thing.
Stranger Things.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the guys from Stranger Things is Hellboy.
The art makeup for him, it looks fucking
Oh,
amazing.
it is based on a Roald Dahl film.
Okay.
Or a Roald Dahl novel.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. The
Still-
name sounds really familiar. That's
I guarantee none of the dialogue was this way in the Roald Dahl.
Sure.
But, yeah, dialogue-driven absurdist humor is a nice way to describe it. But I think you might like Fantastic Mr. Fox. They all say cuss instead of cussing. They all just say the word cuss as if it is a swear word. It's cute.
there's a shot of David Harbour as Hellboy.
Yeah, it's like actually looks more grim.
Yeah, probably more closer to the source material. I mean, Hellboy had a lot of humor to it. I thought his Guillermo del Toro's versions of it was very solid.
They were very solid. Also, the second one has a See You Next Wednesday in it. I'm always excited to see a See You Next Wednesday.
I don't know what that is.
It's just a Hollywood in-joke. The phrase See You Next Wednesday appears in a lot of films.
Oh, sure.
It's just a little running wink/gag that you'll see. It
Well,
probably
like-
even has a Wikipedia page listing all of them.
I like the Wilhelm scream
Yeah.
because that's in like
Which at first the Wilhelm scream just had a purpose, but now anyone who puts it in there is doing it on purpose.
correct.
Like if you use the Wilhelm scream in a film, you are expecting the audience to recognize it.
Yeah.
And yeah, See You Next Wednesday the same way. You'll see it like in the background of things, or people will say it. It's really nice.
Well, somebody's asking about rebooting Hellboy and why we cannot reboot things. The thing is, though, I don't feel like that they're actually, in a sense, they are rebooting it, but it was two pretty successful films. Both Hellboy 1 and Hellboy 2 were pretty decent. I don't know if
I don't think Hellboy 2 did great.
It did not. It did not do particularly well. Although the first Hellboy also did not do particularly well, but it did like mediocre because this was pre like the Marvel movies and the new the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans, and so
That was about the time of the Tobey Maguire.
it was right at that time, but it was right before superhero movies started to actually be a big deal.
Correct.
And so it did mediocrely okay, and I think that then the Spider-Man movies did well and everything, and they're like, okay, movies are on an upswing, we'll give you a second one. And the second one will do great, because now people are all
Now
in, and the
people know.
second one... And so they're like, you know what, no more.
yeah.
And it's a shame, because it is beautiful. It has one of my favorite deaths, capital D, the character death. The version of death that's in that movie is amazingly designed, because it's, of course, Guillermo del Toro designing death. It's going to be beautiful.
If I remember correctly, there's a death sequence in the film that was actually kind of neat. It was that rock monster. I think when it was dying, it was
With, like,
spoon of blood that basically turned into flowers and everything.
Yeah, it was a plant. It was a giant plant monster.
It was okay.
Yeah, it was a giant plant monster. And that's actually the scene with the See You Next Wednesday. But
I was going to make a Noah joke at that point, but
yeah, no, it's a giant plant creature.
Yeah, I mean, I really like Guillermo del Toro. He does a lot of really cool things. He had an amazingly bad but awesome TV series, The Strain, that ended horribly because the kid in the movie was the worst.
And that had, speaking of Sam from Lord of the Rings, he was in The Strain.
He was in it for a very short time.
Spoilers.
Spoiler alert!
He's
for
in
a
the
show
film
that's-
he's in at least the first episode.
He's in like the first.
I say, aren't we just following our rule of the thing must be this good before spoiler tags?
I mean,
Strain's all right.
The Strain basically takes Del Toro's vampires from Blade 2 and just expands on them.
Oh, man.
Man, Blade 2 is good, too. Come on.
Blade 2,
Fucking good.
the Blade trilogy does the thing that trilogies oftentimes do, where you have a good first one, a better second one, and then somebody just shits in your mouth, and they call it the third one.
Hannibal King was great. It was the start of us seeing the potential. I mean, I always liked
Ryan
him.
Reynolds is the one good thing in Hellboy 3.
In Hellboy 3.
Hopefully, yeah. Ryan Reynolds is the one good thing in Blade 3.
But I mean, we got to see the potential of him being. I mean, I liked him in Two Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place. I mean, he was awesome in that show. Also, Ryan Reynolds. Was it Ryan Reynolds, or am I thinking of somebody else? Oh my God, this is bugging me.
Jim in chat says there's at least one movie we're seeing next Wednesday is the title movie on the background movie poster. It's actually at least 4 films where See You Next Wednesday is a background movie poster, because it is in Amazon Women on the Moon, it is in Schlock, it is in American Werewolf in London, and although not a poster, it is on the marquee in the movie theater in Hellboy 2 Golden Army. So at least those 4.
That's what it was.
But to be fair, Schlock, Amazon Women on the Moon, and American Werewolf in London are all John Landis films, and every John Landis film has See You Next Wednesday in it. That's actually where it originated as a gag, although the line originated in 2001, A Space Odyssey.
That's what it was. I thought I got my shows mixed up. I did not. Ryan Reynolds was in Two Guys and a Girl in a Pizza Place with Nathan Fillion.
Good old Two Guys, a Girl, in a Pizza Place.
Yeah.
It was a simpler time.
It was. Until they made the title even simpler when they got rid of the pizza place.
Oh, you know what? Did I say Amazon Women on the Moon? I meant it was Kentucky Fried Movie is the John Landis one. Amazon Women on the Moon is not John Landis, but it did have a See You Next Wednesday, but that wasn't a movie poster. It was a movie case, because it's video pirates, like as literal pirates was the gag, and they like take a ship and it's full of, and they're complaining about how they have like laser discs, and they don't like laser discs because you can't copy them and stuff like that. It's good times. Amazon Women on the Moon is not a particularly good movie, but it's still worth watching because it's great. It's got Arsenio Hall in it. Good stuff. Did you like Kentucky Fried Movie?
I don't remember it.
Okay. Because Amazon Women on the Moon is the Pepsi to Kentucky Fried Movie's Coke.
Yeah, I don't remember Kentucky Fried Movie.
Amazon Women on the Moon is worth watching it just for one sketch, which is like an Unsolved Mysteries ripoff called Bullshit or Not. And the episode in Amazon Women on the Moon is, was Jack the Ripper really the Loch Ness Monster? And they actually have like a recreation with the Loch Ness Monster wearing like a deerstalker cap and like a trench coat going down an alleyway hiring a prostitute.
For $3.50?
Oh, yeah, maybe. I'm not making that up. These movies are amazing because they came out in the coke-fueled 80s when people were just like, let's do coke and write 30-second sketches and then shove them together and make a movie out of it.
They tried that recently, and it failed horribly.
Yeah.
What was that?
Movie 43.
Yeah.
Was horrifically bad.
Yeah.
But Kentucky Fried Movie, Amazon Women on the Moon, and The Groove Tube are all watchable, and they are in that order: good, mediocre, bad.
Showing the decline of American cocaine in court.
Although they are in opposite order to the amount of nudity in them, because they all had very different target audiences. Groove Tube might have actually been earlier. Kentucky Fried Movie was 1977.
What was the show that Leonard Nimoy had?
Amazon Women was 87. That was that late. Jesus.
What was the show that...
Star Trek.
Nope.
Well, yeah, no, he did.
I know he had
Trek.
Star Trek, but I mean, what was the other one that was it was like on not it would be on the History Channel.
Star Trek?
God damn, you're fine. No, he had a television show.
Yeah, with like crystals and shit, because
it wasn't just about. Man, I cannot think of it. But dang it, this is bugging me. It was like an Unsolved Mysteries type thing.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up. I'm on Leonard Nimoy's IMDb. We'll figure it out. Oh, there it is. It's Star Trek.
No.
It is. It's right there. It says Leonard Nimoy, Star Trek.
Yep, Star Trek.
In Search Of.
In Search Of, yes. Did you see what the History Channel is doing now? They're bringing back In Search Of with Zachary Quinto.
That's amazing.
I saw it like In Search Of. I'm like, wait a second, that's Leonard Nimoy. Oh my God, that's Spock! That's Spock! Yeah, I was partially confused and excited all at the same time.
I liked 2/3 of the new Star Trek movies.
Well, I assume which one you did not like.
Super loved the first one.
So what first one was
I
like
loved
lightning in a jar.
Yes, I loved the first one.
Yep.
And the third one is danged good.
The second one has parts.
I liked when it was over because then I didn't have to watch it anymore.
Solid B+ film.
I think that's actually where the B+ comes from. I think I legit did give that. I think that is the source of the meme, right?
Yeah. Of your meme,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, that was that one.
That is that because most of us enjoyed the film, and you're like, yeah, I enjoyed it too. A solid B+.
And then you shit on it.
Hatred.
I did hate that fucking movie.
Yeah, you shit on it for a good 45 minutes straight.
You were like, I like the film, but
So it just
there's parts of it that, I mean, I can't even make up a Benedict Cumberbatch bad pun name to.
my go-to is Bandicoot Cabbage Patch.
Okay. There's parts of the film that were good, but
You can just
that should have
pull up
been
the Eddie Izzard Slutman sketch.
Yes. No, my name's Jerry Dorsey.
I wish.
Windy back, quickly bugs.
I like my women like my coffee covered in bees.
I just wish that movie had a little bit more to do with the original series because they didn't change really much from the original series to Star Trek. Because I mean, it takes it's technically supposed to be before the original series, and I wish they wouldn't have changed much with Khan in that regards.
Yeah, what they could have done was not have him.
Or,
That would have been great.
Or they could have just did a retelling of the original story that he was in Space Seed. They could have just told that story again.
So either not have Khan or explicitly have Khan from the beginning.
Yeah.
Not be like, Herptitor, I'm Khan. Who
I'm
saw
angry,
that coming?
I'm angry. Brr, 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 brr.
We're doing Wrath of Khan again without the setup for it.
Correct. And it was like and the setup for from Space Seed to Wrath of Khan, that's like a 30-year progression.
Yeah.
That's an insane.
Like I said, you could bring Khan back in a completely new way because things are different now with Nero affecting the timeline.
Yeah.
But instead, you just shit on everything. Why? So, I know that this was part of the original one, but it's just so fucking dumb because, again, I hate when you set things up and then squander them. That's why I hated the new RoboCop is because they so clearly set up things and then they don't use them.
I thought you hated it because it was terrible.
Sure, but these are nothing will make me hate your movie more than if you purposely introduce plot elements that add together and then you don't use them. You take A plus B and you set them right here and then you just walk away and do an unrelated thing. Because number one, why did you introduce those things? That was a waste of my time to have those introduced. And two, you didn't introduce this thing, so now it's confusing and annoys me. So spend the time introducing the things and then fucking use them. Because in this one, they call old Spock and they say, we found this guy Khan. What do you know about this guy Khan? And his answer is, he's from the 20th century. He doesn't understand spaceships as well as we do, so we used that against him, and that's how we beat him. In this one, it's like, oh, he's dangerous, bye, and then they just beat him randomly with nothing Khan-related.
Correct. I mean, that was like the big thing about Star Trek. It's like, oh, he's thinking in 2 dimensions.
Correct.
So, you fight.
The script writer saw this element of the character, of the story. They fucking thought about it. They said, here's what we know. He's a genius, so he can't be beaten. Dead on. You can't beat him in the game he's playing because he's better than you. He's stronger, he's smarter. But here's his limitation. And they use that, and it's smart, and it's clever, and it makes a good fucking movie that we still love 40 years later. Instead of, here's what we know about Khan. Here's something else we know about Khan. Yeah, we just win cuz.
Shannon, you'll enter Zap Brannigan.
Yeah.
We should paint train that movie again because it'd be. It's been long enough to have a revisit.
You introduce that the Ed 209s in the new RoboCop will brutally murder a kid with a kitchen knife because they don't understand threat assessment.
Correct.
Then you introduce that the new RoboCop is running on that same programming without being aware of it.
Yep.
And then you don't have him hurt a kid.
Yeah.
Like, he even has a kid.
What else would cause a mental breakdown of a character?
Yeah.
Him just blindly following orders.
Have him playing with his son. His son pulls out a toy gun. His AI kicks in. He shoots his son. You don't have to kill him. He can wing the fucking kid, okay? But he doesn't know that it wasn't him, and so he blames himself. You have set up this amazing character arc. Instead, no, those are just things we introduced for literally no reason, and they will never come up in the plot.
And we'll have you kill the boss for no apparent reason.
Yeah. Just fuck. You did the legwork, man.
Because the main bad guy, he's the bad guy. He's definitely the bad guy. He owns the company.
Think about all the illegal things he's done. He did nothing illegal. Think about all the cruel and heartless and immoral things he did, such as the literally nothing.
No, the cruel and heartless thing is he tried to shut down RoboCop after he was going around crazy.
Yeah, the guy who was going insane and trying to murder people, they reined him in.
Yeah, wasn't he even not particularly unethical?
No, he wasn't. He really wasn't.
He was taking his family to protect them from him as well. And it's not like we're looking at this from the bad guy's point of view. No, he was literally taking Murphy's family to the helicopter away from RoboCop to prevent him from killing his family.
Well, and the first point, because every time Murphy saw his family, he would start to flip his shit and start shooting and whatnot. And then, so dumb. But at least, again, just like with the original RoboCop, they introduced that there's also the drug kingpin, so that you can take that plot line with the global corporate entity, and then you have the drug kingpin that they've never met, they're not working with, and they have nothing to do with them, so that entire plot was just a waste of my fucking time again.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, it was so perfect to set him up as in a sense, the first movie.
Just rip off the first movie. You're all like...
You're already rebooting it. Reboot it.
They purposely fucked up the ripoff. Like,
yeah. Yeah, they said, hey, we got this great plot where the owner of this company is working the kingpin, so you can try to run the businesses out of town, so you can buy up the land at cheap prices, so you can build a better Detroit.
Just random drug guys.
Nope, just random drug guys.
I mean, in fairness, no one in my generation would understand why you had to pay money for Detroit land.
You didn't have to in the 80s either.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Actually, it was more so.
No one under 30 would understand why you were paying money for land in Detroit, so that would not have worked.
Oh, my Lord. I just fucking A, man.
Man, you remembered a lot more about that movie, and you reminded me a lot more about that movie. I had hopes when the trailers kind of looked cool-ish.
I knew. I saw the trailers, and I'm like, oh, no.
I really still want to take that video and just make that into a reaction GIF.
Yeah. Just the pain after that fucking movie.
I'm pretty sure people who never even met you would still respond viscerally to that.
Jesus.
That is probably my favorite pain train that we've ever done, is the reaction after getting done with RoboCop 2014. Or is it 2015?
2014.
Yeah, 2014. But yeah, the video of just everybody just staring silently.
I mean, Nathan looked like his dog died.
Dude, that
Your
hurt
dog
less.
isn't even alive.
That's true. This dog wasn't. But, yeah.
It's
Just fucking, like I said, if you go... Don't put things in your movie unless you're going to use them. You're the one who put them there.
That's generally the failure of a lot of movies out there, is the meandering plot line. And it's kind of similar to... designers designing their own rule book and not letting other people read the rule book before it goes out. Like, you need to have somebody, like, you need to have an editor or somebody who hasn't seen this movie.
Or the British game company's inability to put an index.
Yes.
So speaking of editors, so there's a great... I have a lot... You will oftentimes hear me mention great YouTube channels that are film-related because I have a problem. But there's a great YouTube channel called Folding Ideas, and he talks about games and stuff as well, but Folding Ideas. And he had a video 2 years ago. All it was a half hour of him talking about the editing in Suicide Squad.
Okay.
And how it's the worst edited film ever. And it's not just bad because of script or whatever. And one of the things he talks about that goes to what I'm talking about, the you introduced it, motherfuckers, is the rule of three. You introduce something, then you remind the audience about it later, and then you use it.
Are you talking about the unicorn?
So it's like a Chekhov's gun thing. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You-
I
you
ranted
have
off air
ranted
about this.
Possibly on air, too.
This wasn't on air, was it?
Yeah, probably.
I haven't heard it, so keep going.
Dan hasn't heard it, though. Yeah.
Captain Boomerang. So they introduce, as a gag in his intro thing, that he has a fetish for pink unicorns.
Okay.
Maybe a sexual thing, maybe not. It's just a joke, whatever. So that's just a bonus little aside. But when they introduce him and he's packing up all his gear, he takes a stuffed pink unicorn and he opens his jacket and he puts this stuffed pink unicorn right here, chest pocket.
Sure.
Introduction.
Okay.
20 minutes or so later, they are fighting some bad guys, whatever, and he gets punched and he falls down and the unicorn flies out of his jacket. And then he grabs it and sticks it back in right here, chest pocket of his jacket.
Reminder.
So then,
Credits end.
later in the film, they're having another fight, and this monster takes a knife and stabs him right in his heart. And you think for a second that he's dead, but then he opens his jacket and pulls out the knife deeply embedded in the stack of dollar bills that has never been introduced, and we never see the pink unicorn again.
What?
Exactly.
They lost it.
Fucking-exactly.
They lost it. They lost it in they were in the filming the film and they lost it.
Somewhere there was a payoff that got cut, and somewhere there was an introduction of the money that got cut,
Yep.
and nobody saw. We set up, we introduced, and there's no
He
payoff.
sold the unicorn.
Who fucking knows? But they show, and it's even there over the heart. It's gonna be the unicorn saves him. Nope, wad of money.
There was probably the scene where he walked to the pawn shop.
That's a capitalist critique of our society. I will trade my fetishes for money.
My keyboard is really dirty.
I'm just saying, you put the fucking unicorn in your movie. Use it.
It's all good, though. Don't worry, because Jared Leto is doing the Joker prequel.
No,
Has it not been canceled?
no, Jared Leto's he's doing a Joker movie, a standalone movie, but the Joker prequel is Joaquin Phoenix.
What?
Yeah.
What the fuck's going on? Like a different company, or is DC doing two Joker
I think
movies?
DC is doing two different Joker films.
But they're having... Isn't Joaquin Phoenix older than Jared Leto?
Yeah.
So they're having the prequel with an older actor?
Yep. He said that he was going to do the script because it scared him.
Don't fucking... You can't...
I mean, if anybody should be part of the... Oh, no, never mind. I'm not going to say. I realized I was going to open up something bad.
Just say it.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not going to say what I was going to
Andy,
say.
come on, do it.
No, I'm not going to say what I was
Do
going
it.
to say. I am not going to say what I was going to say. But
It is probably
but the
nowhere
shit-
close to the worst thing that's been said on this cast.
the shit that Jared Leto put his four fellow actors in
Yeah.
for that film in the guise of I'm getting into character is fucking bullshit.
Yes, it was. And that's... There's getting into character, and that's fine, but that's just... They need to call you the Joker, or you spend time alone on set. It isn't you send used condoms to people.
Yeah.
That's just fucking
just-
assault. Like,
Yeah.
that's illegal.
Yeah.
That's fucking illegal, man. Like, that's not getting into character. That's being a shithead and using the fact that you're playing a villain as an excuse.
Yeah, or just playing the fact that you're an actor and you're just in character with my ha ha
Aren't I
ha.
crazy?
Yeah, I'm broken.
Yeah.
Is it broken? Was that what he had on him?
Probably the fucking edgy tattoos.
Yeah, whatever it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
It would have been much better. I haven't seen Suicide Squad, so I can't fully say it would have been better. It would have been, to me, if he was just a psychotic former henchman of the Joker. He worshipped him as much,
Yeah,
so
he's
he
not
would
actually
be,
the Joker.
yes,
Sure.
that he thinks that he is the Joker. That would have been a better.
You know what you're gonna do in your ensemble film when you've got like 8 characters in the Suicide Squad? If you introduce 7 of them with over the top intros, and then the 8th one is introduced after all the rest of them and is never mentioned before and isn't mentioned in the briefing by the person forming the squad, and just gets off a bus and they go, "Oh, by the way, this is guy number 8." We're not surprised when he dies.
You mean Paul?
Yeah. Like, fucking A, man. Think. Give that guy the over-the-top intro so that when his head explodes, we go, holy shit, one of them died. We know he's Mr. Expendable. You put him in a red shirt and named him Ensign Ricky.
But I don't want to go down on the planet.
Yeah. Oh, it's so... Because not only does he not get the big intro, everybody else gets the big montage intro with the
like
title splash screen,
yeah.
like a fucking Lockstock
Sure.
Guy Ritchie.
Yeah.
Everybody gets a Guy Ritchie intro with the freeze frame and their name and stats about him, including like their favorite ice cream flavor, except this one fucker. And also at the presentation where the main person introduces the concept of the Suicide Squad, he's not even on the fucking board behind her. And then he's just like on the bus, hey, I'm a part of the squad too. The audience won't expect me to die. Look at it.
See, what would have been clever is to have him not die.
Sure. Then your movie would be less shit.
But once again, that requires writers, which requires money.
Hey, it's just another addition to an amazing lineup that DC is bringing to us in a streaming coming this fall. I can't wait to fork out $12.95 or whatever it is to watch DC stuff. Like, actually,
DC animated films are good.
the DC Teen Titans Go film looks
Just stop.
it looks entertaining. It looks entertaining.
So I did see an episode of Teen Titans Go. I think it was at Adepticon. It was on in the bathroom.
Yes, because it was playing over and over.
It was one of the two. The best channel at Adepticon was the one that was frozen on a picture of some KFC chicken tenders. For the entire weekend, it was just frozen on a KFC ad. So anytime I wanted to look at chicken tenders...
You or Keith kept changing it, and I kept changing it back.
I kept it on there.
Okay.
Keith must have been changing it off. I was all about the chicken tenders channel.
That's right.
I wish that was a channel
You're right. Because Keith kept changing it to the news.
Just chicken tenders just slowly, like a
just
slow
frozen.
motion falling into a basket or something, so you can see the flakes bouncing off.
Stop it. I can only get so aroused.
That's right. Keith was changing it because I do remember at one point he switched it to CNN and said, I found a new diuretic, John Bolton.
But no, so it was like a cheesy... It was basically like Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, but Teen Titans style, because they were in an 80s music video, and the episode was actually a musical episode with like neon and like guitar and everything. And that was okay.
I understand the fans that really enjoyed the original Teen Titans, and I know Teen Titans Go is basically a horrific knockoff of it.
It's
But
a different style.
So far, I've like the previews I've seen of the film make me want to watch the show because it sounds like it's just way positive and way.
So it's not Teen Titan Go's fault. So what it is so imagine you're a huge fan of Farscape.
Sure.
The sci-fi show with Jim Henson puppets in it.
I'll try my best.
Okay. So imagine you're a big fan of Farscape.
Far
And
Cry.
that's the only Jim Henson show that's on. Okay. Just Farscape.
Yep.
Then they cancel it. And then a month later, they start doing Sesame Street. And you're like, they canceled this Jim Henson show I loved to make this kiddie shit that I can't enjoy because I'm not a 5-year-old. And so Teen Titan Go is if they were both on, it would be fine. But the problem is because Teen Titans, which was a pretty adult... I mean, it was for kids, but it had death, it had drama, it had suicide talk.
And it did it well.
And it did it well. It had deep messages. It was a very strong
It's
show.
meant for more teens, in a sense.
And it was brave about... It was for teens and would talk to them about shit. Talk to them about going through puberty. Talk to them about friends
Stuff that they
dying.
cared about.
Yeah. And that was canceled, and then the same characters were put in a popcorn kid-friendly... Isn't Life Fun? Let's Sing and Dance Together show.
Not too long after it was canceled.
And
so it wasn't that long. Okay.
It was like literally the next season.
Okay.
And so it was so like canceled in the next season that it almost was like a format change of the same show, it felt like. And that's why there was such a backlash, is that people couldn't see it as an unrelated show. They saw it as the butchering of the show they liked.
Sure.
There's nothing wrong with Teen Titans Go. There really isn't, unless you try to think that it is this butchered, reanimated corpse of the original one, and you got this monkey's paw bastardization.
Sure. I guess that's probably where I come in, where I never watched the first one.
I watched a lot of the first one.
Yeah, so
Like, I've watched all of the first one multiple times. I love those DC films. I love the Justice League Unlimited. I love Teen Titans. Those are all great shows. And so Teen Titans Go really fucking hurt. And I've gotten over it, but a lot of people haven't because they can't separate them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
like, Teen Titans Go won't have Batman and Ace on the swing set talking while she dies. Like, that's Justice League, not Teen Titans. But my point is,
sure.
That's my sentence structure. Deal with it. Poor Ace.
I don't know who Ace is. I assume it's a character that was slowly dying of something.
Yeah, genetically modified to be a super weapon, but she would die at like the age of 12.
Oh.
And Batman just held her hand and was there for her while she died. The end of episode.
I don't even know about it. I'm tearing up.
Yeah.
I mean, like seriously,
It's a hard episode.
It is a really fucking hard episode because she's the villain because she's a weapon. She's been made for this, and so Batman's like sent to stop her, and he just talks to her, and he's like, I know it's hard, and that's the shit that we had, and then we got Teen Titans Go. But whatever, it's different, and like I said, it is what it is. It's just people. It's
hard to separate.
The whiplash. It was the timing. If it was a 10-year gap, or they were both on at the same time, there would have been zero issues.
Yeah, I thought that they were gone for a couple years before they came out with the new one. Yeah, that sucks. But yeah, I'm intrigued with it.
And they actually have
say something inappropriate. Come on.
They have teased that if Teen Titans Go, the film, does well, they actually might bring back the adult-oriented Teen Titans again, which would be
kind of cool. Yeah,
because they say it shows that there's the fandom for the characters.
Yeah,
so that'd be cool.
Well, I mean, have you seen the trailers for the new movie?
No.
It's like hey, we got Deadpool here. They're talking to Slade. It's like Deadpool. Say something inappropriate. It's so adorable. I guess I also like
Deathstroke.
Was it? Yeah. Oh, Slade. Yeah. Is it Slade Deathstroke? Oh no. Yeah.
Slade is Deathstroke. They didn't call him Deathstroke because it doesn't word death in the name, so they changed the name to Slade for the shows.
Okay.
Which is his real name, obviously, Slade Wilson. But they call him Slade in the Teen Titans TV shows because they didn't want somebody with the name Death running around.
Deathstroke. Okay. That was.
But they play with that, like with the Spider-Man animated series. Deadpool would be on there, and he kept talking about unaliving people because he couldn't say kill.
Sure.
And he knows he's not allowed to say kill because of the censors, so he just unalives them.
Oh, wow.
Deadpool is newer than Deathstroke because Deadpool is a blatant ripoff of Deathstroke.
Yes, he is.
Not even a parody at first. At first, he was just a ripoff, and then they turned him into a parody because that was the more popular aspect.
Well, that's also how you that's how you have the characters be different.
Correct. Yeah, and probably slightly more legally distinct as well.
They're both fucking assassins.
I mean, sure, but like, how do you what's that? Like, hey, we got a guy with guns and swords and there's 50 of them.
Yeah. Instead of having one side of his face being a mask, he's got both sides.
Yeah.
So he looks like Spider. Oh no.
Always has the same company, so they wouldn't sue themselves.
One would think DC would still pull it off.
Yeah, it's more like the Shazam versus Superman thing.
Shazam versus Sinbad.
Sinbad in Shazam.
Well, Shazam and actually, it's Shazam and Captain Marvel.
Right. Well,
Captain Marvel.
That's the actual name thing.
Yeah, so, that thing actually exists.
As far as powers, Captain Marvel at the time, now Shazam, and Superman were so identical that there was squinting at each other there. And then, the name thing just fucked up everything. Although there are two Captain Marvels still. Yeah. Shazam isn't called Shazam is called Shazam, but DC has a Captain Marvel, and Marvel also has a Captain Marvel. And Shazam also was called Captain Marvel once upon a time, but is neither of them.
I thought you still.
This would be really good on the.
No, they just call him Shazam now. I think it's a different Captain Marvel.
But. Isn't The Rock Shazam?
No.
No, Zachary Quinto. No, not Zachary Quinto.
Shaquille O'Neal was Kazam.
Kazam, yes. No, Chuck, the guy who plays Chuck, is Zachary Levi is Shazam.
Did you do the voice in the animated films or something?
No, he is.
I'm just picturing.
He is the actual. He is Shazam. He is the character.
So in the comic books, the actor Zachary Levi is Shazam.
No, in the new movie.
What new movie? Is there a live action Shazam
Yes.
movie?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know
Like I
that
said,
was
I'm
happening.
just picturing-
Oh yeah, because what's his face was going to be Black Adam. They were talking about. Yeah.
Zachary Levi. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's Shazam, and he's in full costume.
Is he big enough to be Shazam? I mean, I guess he doesn't have to be because it's just Superman, right? And
Yeah,
who's Billy Batson?
I don't know.
Because really, the thing is, it's. Is this for like one of those funny parody movies?
Nope.
What? Why does he have pillows in his arms? Are those supposed to look like muscles?
I think that's actually him.
You know what that reminds me of?
What?
Our Crippled
No.
System jerseys.
Oh my! Yeah. Holy shit! Also, get a dancer belt because I don't need to know whether he's circumcised or not. But those arms, those are not human arms. Those have to be stuffed arms. It's like when you buy a little kid a Superman costume and it has the fake biceps on it.
Or Brian
and the
buys
fake six-pack.
jerseys.
Or Brian buys jerseys. And he
Well-
gets the ones that are sized for pads to go into them, so you have wings.
So yeah, so the sad part is though, is you can definitely tell it's because like you look around his neckline, it's got space.
Yeah, there's like no
and that-
neck.
Yeah. And that black thing he's wearing underneath is going to be a whole bodysuit that has those fake muscles on it. Wow. Holy shit.
So at this
that
point,
was a great reaction.
Wow.
so at this point, is it conspiracy theory or accepted fact that DC Cinematic Universe is a tax write-off?
Oh man, Jesus. I mean, they're trying to do stuff for the streaming channel, but I mean, they could really get it off with all their animated shows. If they would put all their animated shows into the streaming thing, it could work. But their movies, like basically ever since Batman Returns, no, not Returns, Dark Knight Returns,
Dark
the
Knight.
second
Dark Knight is the second one.
the second one.
Yeah, that's
ever
Dark
since
Knight.
that and Wonder Woman, they've been pretty shitty.
And DC didn't do Dark Knight. That was Warner Brothers. It's a DC character, but they didn't do
Yeah,
it.
they had nothing to do with that
yeah.
trilogy.
Yeah.
That's why they had to reboot it as Ben Affleck.
Yeah,
Like,
and actually Ben Affleck in
he was
Batman
not
v
the,
Superman.
He was not the problem with
He
those
was not the
movies.
problem with that film. Sadly, he's not. I don't think he's going to be Batman anymore. But I thought he was fine. But the movie was shit. Man, I mean, and Aquaman. That's going to be fucking horrible.
Someone was defending Aquaman.
Who knows? I mean, he wasn't the worst part.
They did Wonder Woman well. Wonder Woman
was unironically an enjoyable film. The
Which they will
climactic
fuck
final
up in the
battle
next
was
one.
troublesome.
Yes,
and
they will fuck it up
But-
in the future.
yeah.
well, 84. Wonder Woman 84 is supposed to be coming out too, and that's.
But-
I'm.
And I didn't hate Justice League. It was
It had trouble.
it had troubles, but all the troubles it had, while accurate, were not as bad as they were told.
It was a much better film than
was
Batman v Superman.
That is true.
And,
I mean,
and I mean,
It had a lot of problems. I ain't disagreeing. They got a lot of problems. But
All right,
all
Nathan,
the problems
I have
were
another Sophie's
oversold
choice
when
for
I
you.
got there.
Batman v Superman or RoboCop?
I would rather watch Batman v Superman.
yeah, I would too.
I would much rather watch. Batman
I mean,
v
the
Superman.
sequences in Batman v Superman. There's some actually some
You have to
really.
watch both of them sober.
Oh, that's harder.
No, I can watch Batman v Superman. sober.
I'm almost tempted actually to watch the director's cut of Batman v Superman because I've heard that while it's longer and thus more painful, the longer starts to make it better because things make slightly more sense.
The cinematography in Batman v Superman is really good, though. I enjoyed how the film looked and felt. It was still just dark. I'm brooding DC, but it worked in some of the shots.
Why didn't Michael Keaton give the guys he sent to kill RoboCop keys to the door that RoboCop was behind?
Because he was still angry that he was no longer Batman.
Also, why did he not give them his magical RoboCop's not allowed to shoot you in the face badges? Because he has those.
Yeah.
Like, give him those and a key.
There's like a whole training protocol sequence that bothered the hell out of me in that movie. I can't remember what it was. I'd have to watch it again, and I don't...
It's just so much fucking worse than the first one. But it's also just bad on its own merits, but it's just...
It's bad on its own merits. I mean, there's a magic that's in the first RoboCop that they didn't try to capture, and I think that was their biggest mistake, because it had that satire, it had that charm. The charm of RoboCop is immersing you in that world of over-the-top cop violence and gangs running the world. And this RoboCop just seemed like it was San Diego that had a small problem.
Yeah.
And it was like a beautiful city. Everything was all nice. I mean, it wasn't...
Detroit?
It wasn't Detroit. It didn't put you in that world. Like, oh, we're just going to make these robo things so we can sell them to the military. And actually, hold on, if I remember correctly, they already had a contract with the military. They were just doing something different.
Yeah. And, like, there's nothing shady about RoboCop. Like, in the new one.
Yeah.
They get written authorization from his next of kin to use him, so
Yep.
it's not just stealing a corpse off the street
Correct.
like they did in the first one. They have permission. They actually treat him relatively well. They
Yeah.
train him well. He works, and like there's no scheme, there's no trick, there's no behind the scenes. It's just like, hey, in current day San Diego that's no worse off than it is now, there's a really effective crime fighting tool that we just made. But I guess for some reason we'll try to kill him and then he'll kill us at the end.
Exactly. That's pretty much the movie.
Like, he fucking works! The first time they parade him out, he catches a serial killer.
Yeah. Yeah, because he uses facial recognition technology
in the
and
crowd.
sees him in the crowd, yeah. Yeah.
Like, fucking A!
Yeah, that movie makes no sense.
There's no villains, there's no motivation.
What were we talking about before that? You successfully made me leave that.
It was
conversation.
DC.
Oh, yeah, DC. Yeah.
It was recommendations. We were going to recommendations.
Yeah, no Zappity Grumbles. Recommendations.
There was one Zappity Grumble up higher, actually. And I think it was a relatively good one.
That was like near the beginning.
Yeah, it was way up to the beginning. Jim asked something. Weirdest profession that you find to be respectable and needed.
A poopsmith.
I mean, sewer workers are needed and do deserve respect because no one wants to do that.
Nope.
Like,
I
it's
mean,
not
Mike
like,
Rowe doesn't want to do that.
It's not like it's their dream job. They're willing to do it for you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. That was when I saw the question. That was my answer. Is a poopsmith is basically a janitor. Anybody who works in those services.
I'll be edgy and say prostitutes. Like, sex workers deserve respect, and honestly, they do serve a social function. Like, there are people who need sexual release in a safe environment, and if that's accessible to them, that's a good thing. But, that is a fucking can of worms. But it should be legal and taxed, and they should be treated with respect.
The hard part about that is safe environment.
Sure, pimping should be illegal as a motherfucker.
Correct.
If being a prostitute is 100% legal, they are in a safe environment. Like, they can work in the open.
It's they set up shop, they're regulated. Yeah.
You can rape a prostitute. What's she going to do? Go to the cops? That's why it's not safe for them.
Correct.
If it's legal, they have protection as much as anybody else. It's the same as robbing somebody's store or, just beating up a random person on the street. They can go to the cops and say, this guy mugged me. But if she's a prostitute, they'll be like, well, what was happening? Oh, he was hiring me. Cool, you're under arrest.
The guy stole all my drug money.
Yeah. No, it needs to be legal. It needs to be... Every country that has legal brothels, it's great for them.
Yeah. No, yep. That's what I mean is having something that's in a safe environment, like a brothel or something like that, where it's regulated. Who are the Johns or the Janes that come into
Johns and Janes, and it's also safer for the clients because once they're legal and regulated, you can have a licensing system, and that licensing system can require monthly testing, or whatever. So you make sure people are safe. There's no reason for it to be illegal except that America was founded by Puritans.
Exactly. That's... I think a A lot of problems.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we got shit and sex. So you have to do something like violent or something, like executioners.
I don't know if I could do that job.
Oh,
But-
God.
I mean, considering the fact that most,
Prostitute, you mean?
No, that too.
I mean, most
I don't
execution
have the
systems
stamina.
are designed to allow the person who actually does this and have as much deniability as possible.
Yeah.
You have stuff like the firing squad with 4 real and a blank, or
Sure.
3 people flipping the switch, which is randomly the actual electric switch and
Yeah.
stuff.
That way you can sleep at night, because you can always tell yourself you didn't do it.
Correct.
Or you did if you're one of those people.
Sure.
I know somebody who's has a.
It just flips all 3. Woo!
I think I mentioned this. I
You're
know
not stealing my credit.
punches the other people.
No kill steal.
Oh,
Teabag.
did I? Teabag. Because he forgot to do the switch.
Anyway, you were.
I may have mentioned it on a previous podcast, but it's a weird profession. But I know somebody who does Repo Man style things.
Oh, sure, yeah.
It basically goes and recovers
harvest
organs and eyes of people. It's just very interesting.
I have a buddy. He just in a sequences of odd jobs. When I first knew him, he removed bones from cadavers, like the whole goddamn skeleton. He just filleted them like a fish.
I don't know.
And he would just talk about, like, you do this and then you just flop the top half over and then do this. And like, what?
No, I'm not. No.
Yeah.
Fuck, I see a little blood. I'm already woozy.
Yeah.
Like when I was a kid,
Well, don't worry, Andy. They don't bleed anymore. They're already dead.
it just oozes.
And they drain
I
them
watch
first.
enough Forensic Files.
Yeah.
They cut tip. And come
Oh
back in an hour.
yeah. Duh, thanks. No, I remember as a kid, very like about maybe 5 years old. That was the first time I ever filleted a body. But no,
Sure, yeah.
And then the head bounced down the stairs.
I was like 5 years old, and I lost like one of my front teeth.
Sure.
And I was kneeling on the counter in the bathroom. And I was looking in the mirror, and I'm like, "Oh, look, there's a little blood there," and I passed out.
Yeah.
And fell off the counter and knocked out the other front tooth.
That's good
Yeah,
times.
big stack of potatoes in the bathroom. My parents were very scared at that moment.
My parents gave up on me. I cracked my head open like 6 times, so they just stopped caring. I've told the scar on my forehead, that one, about how I hit my head on the coffee table, and I got stitches. And of my 3 brothers, that week, I was the 3rd to go to the emergency room. All 3 of us had gone to the emergency room that week. So my mom was a little worried that they were going to start getting suspicious about these accident-prone kids. So I get stitches in my forehead. Then we get home. Within the hour, I fell down the stairs and reopened the same wound. And they're like, "No, fuck you. You're going to have a scar." And they just wouldn't take me back to the hospital because they didn't want them to get suspicious about 4 visits in a week.
Well, it was still my reminders, or my favorite thing is the fucking picture of you caught in the gate.
Yeah, well, yeah, they were done with my shit. I guarantee I had tried to climb through that baby gate a dozen times, and that time they're like, "Yeah, well, fuck you, you deserve it." Oh, look at you, caught in the gate. I'm gonna go get my picture. And it's not like now where it's just in your pocket and take a picture.
No,
my mom had to go get the Polaroid out of the drawer, load some film in it, get a flash bulb, right? Like,
meanwhile, you're just
take the picture, wait for it to develop because she wanted to make sure that she wanted to take a second one, and I'm just screaming and ribs are being crushed. I deserved it.
Siblings are probably like,
Yeah.
It definitely looked like you were balling for a while.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Well, it was tough. I mean, you get in trouble for it now, but the middle of us, Jeremy, he used to bite our eldest brother all the fucking time. He would just bite him. So one day my mom just bit the shit out of Jeremy. Just took his arm and boom! Hardcore! Yeah. He never bit again.
Yeah.
Okay.
He never
I'm
bit
not going to
again.
lie. That is the best way to stop biting.
Yeah. You know how that feels. Like, ow.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Like,
now we got laws in Utah where kids can finally be free range. I think is it Utah?
well,
I thought it was.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Utah has enough messed up laws from the Mormons. I don't know.
No,
no,
that's
I
better
mean-
than the reverse, because people are calling it, like, your kid would walk from Andy's house to the end of the block to go to the swing set, and they'd arrest the parents for child abandonment.
Yeah, I know. That's retarded as well.
Like, fuck off. Why are you calling the cops on kids riding their bikes in a cul-de-sac?
Yeah, exactly.
Something today it said 911 is not white people customer service.
Oh, I gotta put that as a bumper sticker.
Right? Just fucking A. Put the phone down. Relax.
I'm here, they're grilling out, they're listening to Creed.
They got marshmallows in their potato salad.
Oh, God.
So I've mentioned her on the podcast before, but Lindsay Ellis, formerly known as the Nostalgia Chick on Channel Awesome before it turned terrible, had...
Before?
There's been a huge fucking drama.
No, but I'm saying, like, before it's been terrible, it's always been terrible.
It had decent people
Parts.
on it. It had fun. You liked the Nostalgia
I
Critic.
kinda did.
It was a fine channel. I liked Linkara. I liked her. I liked...
There was then and this
There
is
was
now.
content.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, not only is there no content, but also the reason there's no content is because all the content creators left because of terrible, horrible things.
Yeah.
Like sexual predation and the hiding thereof by the people running the channel.
Correct.
So, anyway, Channel Awesome, fuck it. But Lindsay Ellis, who is great, and you should watch all her videos on the YouTubes about filmmaking and everything, and she's funny and charming and cute and whatever. She has a, spoiler, 3-part. It pretends to be 2 parts, but as part of the gimmick, it turns out to be 3 parts because that's what happened to The Hobbit. A 3-part expose about what the fuck happened to the Hobbit movies. Why? For the love of God, why? And she goes into a lot of great detail and history. She actually has interviews with some of the actors from the films. Like one of the dwarfs sits down and talks to her about the experience. It's really interesting. The 3rd video actually talks about a lot about just the... Because we think about, oh, you know, whatever, but it's good for New Zealand, right? They've got this whole Hobbit thing in their pocket. And they use it for tourism and stuff. Man, they are fucked over by that whole thing. Like, to get movie theaters, to get movie... studios to come to New Zealand to film, they passed laws.
So they basically get it for... They
The
pay them
actors
to
and
go
the
there.
crew and everything are just slave fucking labor. Like, they're making $5 an hour, and if they say anything, too bad. There's nowhere else you're going to get money. Like, you're fucked because of the honeypot deals that the government gave to get Hollywood to come over. But it's really interesting. It's 3-part videos. You should watch everything she's ever done, but the Hobbit ones were topical, and so I'm making her / those ones specifically my recommendation for this week.
Sweet. Go, Dan.
I unfortunately have nothing.
You have nothing. Come on.
Dan recommends red Thai curry cheese and also making your own salsa.
That is true.
That salsa is really good. Can you leave that here?
Yes, sure. Oh, yeah. I can bring you a small jar as well.
I was going to just take that
I say,
one.
I
can
made
get out the door before Andy
I say,
can get to
damn
me.
it! I made 3 pints of it, and
I'm wondering how that would go into my... How that would taste by being thrown into my chili. I think it'd be pretty sexy.
but yeah, I can bring you a jar as well next time I see you.
I'm going to be making some salsa soon because Bon Appetit has the It's Alive with Brad series, and he makes fermented salsa in one of them, and it looked really good.
Yeah, I say, and there's only going to be more peppers at the farmer's market. This was basically, there was one vendor selling chili peppers last weekend downtown at the big one at the square, and I bought half his stock. So,
I mean, it doesn't taste hot to me. I mean, it's
Well, it has the right
really
amount of
good.
spice. You want
Yeah.
spice and heat. You don't want
Yeah.
just like, fuck you, I'm
Correct.
tough, I'm eating
I
pure
almost
pain.
always aim for moderate spice and flavor over just heat, because just heat is pointless.
Yep.
I mean, I can just punch myself in the dick, right? Like, if you want to go, look, I can withstand pain, why waste the money on a hot sauce?
I say, I've been bitten by red ants. I don't need that in my mouth.
Yeah, it's just dumb.
I have to.
I like spicy food, and that's just dumb.
That's another reason why I hate Texas.
Bullet ants? Or fire ants, I mean.
Just fire ants.
Fire ants, yeah, good
Yeah.
times.
I got bit by one of those in a car once. Like, it just, the ant crawled up
As,
my leg.
as you were driving?
No, thankfully, but because I would have had an accident if that was the case. Because it bit me, and I just curled over in the seat crying because it was the back of my knee.
Oh, yeah. Well, I remember being out in the field when I was in the Army. You actually set up your... What?
I have to throw several games at WITC now.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to play Twilight Imperium at TI at the WITC. Oh, man. Fucking A. I almost got it with those plant people.
So
I took Mechatol one turn too soon.
But at least
Target on
Mechatol
me.
didn't fuck you this time.
That is true. Well, taking it one turn too early did.
True. I was digging for that card again.
Yeah. Asshole. Your recommendation, Andy?
My recommendation is I don't really have one, so I'm trying to make up one up on the fly. I already mentioned The Expanse. Is there another show? I was watching Dietland, and that one's okay. And
All right, now I'm really curious who Ron this is.
Yeah, I don't really have a recommendation. Buy a tablet. Get a tablet. Buy a tablet so you can have pictures of Zachary
Lord.
Levi as Shazam on there.
Jesus fuck.
Because he looks awesome.
Maybe
Okay,
It's hard to make out what he looks like, but he looks like shit.
it's... You know how Marvel leaked the Battle of... Like, in the trailer, the Battle of Wakanda had the Hulk in it,
Yeah.
but then he isn't in the Battle of Wakanda Infinity War, spoiler.
Because they
kind
filmed
of
like
is.
3 types of ending.
No.
And they show the Hulk armor.
So maybe, yeah, it's Rodney Pena. Maybe that was a sweet Benny win, by the way. You deserved it. That was a good job. The one that he didn't get, but it was a good one that you deserved. Anyway, maybe this is that. Maybe these are fake pictures of shitty Shazam costumes, so that when the movie comes out and he looks really awesome, it'll make us happy.
Thing is, though, why would you...
More
as
importantly,
much of a tight leash that DC is on right now to make a profitable film, why would they waste that money to actually make a... And actually, that's a really good cosplay of Shazam.
That's a perfectly fine... Oh, my Lord. Why? So bad.
I
Just don't put... Just have him not have the big muscles, right? Or... That's... I don't know. Maybe they'll touch it up. Maybe it's
I like wherever they're
maybe
filming,
it's like when
it's-
Baron Von Ooze was in X-Men Apocalypse.
don't think you could...
Ivan Von Ooze.
Yeah,
is
they
that his
didn't
name?
really touch that up, because that movie was...
I never bothered to see it.
It's got troubles.
Yeah, I never even
It's
saw
got-
it.
Yeah. It's easily the worst of his films. I can't remember the director who did all those.
Uwe Boll,
No.
Bryan Singer.
Bryan Singer, that's it.
Yeah.
It's easily the worst of those.
Oh, he did that one?
I thought the new trilogy was all him.
Well, I knew he did
The
the
new
first
trilogies.
two in the new trilogy. I didn't know that he did Apocalypse as well.
I think he
he
did
might have,
Apocalypse.
but I mean, New Class I really, really liked. Days of Future Past had issues. I think
But
it was
that
just
was
pretty
fine.
downhill. I don't know.
So, Andy, I have to find a picture to wipe the stain of that off. So,
Let him.
All right, we're done. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be here next week.
Except for
possibly
me,
without
probably.
Dan. See you guys. Thanks.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We love you. Bye.
Bye-bye.